I clicked go live like 2 seconds before it turned 9:31, so I was just on time. Somebody's got to be in chat saying late. Sky, that one guy is saying late. But how's everyone doing tonight? It is an exciting time in Pokemon. I have changed my fortnightly lives into weekly lives because we've got to talk about everything every week. Every other week is not enough. There's too much to talk about. So on time is late, Dan. If you're not early, you're late. I had a lot of professors that used to say that. I do not subscribe to that. Laters be late. Yeah, I did push 30 minutes. So I did push 30 minutes, and then I went live 2 seconds before 9:31 p.m. But how's everyone doing tonight? As always, I am going to be hanging out for the next couple hours, pending how chat is going, pending how everyone's feeling. We're booming, so everyone should be feeling good. I don't have any. I have a couple topics that might come up. Oh no, we're starting with red lights. I forgot that I went red light at the end of Monday night. So if you did not catch it, and once this is over, if you want some more Dan content, I did post it on my Instagram. I did post it on my my music is loud. I posted it on my story and I posted it on my YouTube, but I was live with Cardboard Hands Monday. So this Monday, because we're booming, I was asked to come on Cardboard Hands, and I went on there and I had a great chat with Nick and Josh. And then Friday is Pokeflips. Normally I don't do a live stream the week of Pokeflips, but we're booming, so I'm doing a live stream. And Monday, I'm going on Alex Nostalgianomics channel. I believe he went on Pokeflips once. I don't think he's ever been on this channel, but I don't really do many collabs on this channel. That's what I do on Pokeflips more. Alex was live today with PokeNE with Brian, who we've also had on Pokeflips. 1,000 live viewers on a Pokemon Market channel. Absolutely mind-blowing. The numbers that are going on out there in the live streams. We'll see what we do tonight. I do not think 1,000 will happen, but we'll see if we can make 100 happen. 100 is a big number. 100 is more than in my graduating class. 1,000 is more people than was in my entire school K to 12, just for context of what those numbers are. Like thinking about standing up, go put yourself back in high school, even through college. It's kind of interesting when you're just talking to the camera. It doesn't feel the same, but I get nervous when I talk in front of a classroom full of people. When you give that class presentation, when you have some presentation to give at work in front of some of your higher ups, maybe 6, 8, 10 very important people. Stressful. I don't feel that same stress when I'm here. It is a lot like disconnected through the camera, but it's still crazy to think about it. There are 100 real people on the other end of this. There are 1,000 people on the other end of Alex's live today with Brian. So yeah, wild times. Monkey says, God bless speculation. Rocket emojis in the chat. Feel free to use those emojis. If you're a channel member, you got some different ones. I feel like I haven't updated them in forever. Unfortunately, I don't have a rocket. I need to get a specialized custom Catch 'em All Collectibles rocket emoji for my channel members. But appreciate you being here, Monkey. Or is it Monkey God saying bless speculation? I think it's Monkey saying God bless speculation. Yeah, it is. I'm looking at the chat over here. The chat up there makes it a lot more clear. The Big Potato says, just found out about Catch 'em All Collectibles recently, and it's low-key, really good info, a hidden gem of a channel if I say so myself. And then ZNG Emporium saying Big Potato is my alt. I swear that is not me. That is not anyone that I paid. That is not a paid actor. Appreciate you being here, Big Potato. Feel free to leave your questions. I will be hanging out for the next couple hours, as I said, somewhere in those rambles. But yeah, I am gearing up for hopefully a couple hours hanging out, Q&A. I have a couple ranty topics I might get into. We do have red lights, so you never know where the night might take us when the lights are red at the start. Could be a dangerous setup. Garen having a chuckle at my expense. James's joke landed. Sky called me late when I was on time. Barely on time, but I was on time. Big Potato having a laugh as well. Perfect Prince. The Pokemon dentist is in China. Are you actually visiting China right now? Boom 'em all collectibles. That would be a good username change. Perfect Prince says Bitcoin. I own some Bitcoin. Do I think Pokemon is safer than crypto? So this was actually a conversation that came up. I brought some stuff with me. So I visited the Catch 'em All vault. I've got one of these fancy Liberty Safe cool pockets. It's like fire protection inside fire protection. Little do people know. So if you've got a big fancy safe, a lot of people have a big fancy safe that's called a fire safe, and they think that if their house were to burn down, they think their collectible investments will be protected. I am here to tell you that is not the case. So I intended to make a video on it at some point, but it would be very hard to do. Basically, I would need to make a bonfire, and I would need to like throw a fire safe into a bonfire and cook it for a while. But slabs melt at a couple hundred degrees Fahrenheit. Fire safes are made to protect paper. They're made to protect currency to 451 degrees. Well, to 451 Fahrenheit, the name of the book. That, I believe, is when paper starts to burn. So a lot of safes will be rated. They'll be rated for like 30 minutes. They'll be like 350, 30 minutes. So after 350, after 30 minutes of a fire, and sometimes they rate the fire at 1,000 degrees, sometimes it's 1,300 degrees, the internal temperature of the safe will be up to 350. I promise you, if you put a slab into an oven at 350 degrees for like 10 minutes, and someone did a test on this. I believe it was Silver Snorlax. Jason, I believe. E4, going back, way back E4 days. I met him at Worlds in 2019, and we talked about it a little bit. But slabs will melt inside of a safe. They will melt. The slabs will deform. The cards will be destroyed. So inside of my safe, I have a smaller safe. So I have a big fire safe, and then I have... John's trying to call me right now. John, who is live. He's calling me while he's live on Fanatics. And while I'm live on YouTube. Let me quickly see what he's saying. Can you text me the username? I'm live on YouTube right now. I actually just yeah, I actually just unmuted, but yeah, text me and then I will text that to our guy and he'll get that taken care of. Right. So I know I unmuted. I did not accidentally unmute for the end of that phone call. I believe I should be unmuted. PK just called me. I'm like, PK is live right now on Fanatics. If he's calling me while he knows I'm live on YouTube, it must be an emergency. We have some troll over on Fanatics, and he is bidding a lot of money on cards and ruining the auctions. So I'm going to message that username to my guy, and he will get that guy banned. Please do not troll our live streams or anyone else's live streams or auctions. One thing that let me do what really grinds my gears thing. One thing that really grinded my gears, in the past 2 weeks of Poke content, and I will try to get back to where I was talking about saves. But one thing that really ground my gears in the context of Pokemon content in the past couple weeks is like, haha, funny, hit chase Pokemon card from the newest set gets bid up to funny number, $69,420, and then it goes to 100,000, and then it goes to 1,000,000. It's like, do we really need to make 25 Instagram Reels and TikToks and Shorts? And that was just annoying content to me. It's like, because one, like, people are actually tampering with someone else's business, someone else's livelihood to some extent. It's just, yeah, that whole thing was annoying. I know Nick went through a multi-week period where people were troll bidding his auctions on eBay Live, and it just, like, he had to shut down and stop doing live streams for a couple weeks on eBay Live because the back end on eBay did not have it where they could ban people. I believe it's set up. I didn't get a text yet from PK, but unless he sent it in Instagram. But anyways, that was just an annoying thing that, like, okay, I had to open Discord 55 times and see what the new bid was at. It's like, I don't care. I could not care any less. Please don't spotlight these morons that go and shill auctions and screw around. Like, it's haha funny joke, but it's not actually a joke. Maybe I'm too sensitive because I'm a business. Maybe I'm taking that too seriously. But that was just an annoyance. And it's an annoyance when John is live trying to, like, work, and I'm live trying to work. Yes, this is my job, to some extent. He didn't bid again. He might have held back. So he might be, yeah, I don't know. I didn't get a username yet, but anyways. But anyways, off of that rant of people bidding and not paying, it's an annoying thing. James is in here. I'm sure James will talk about 7% non-payment rates. Very, very annoying, very, very frustrating. The trend of that behavior. But anyways, let me catch up. Let me see what live chat's saying, if there's anything else. So you can ban people on eBay Live now. You can ban people on Fanatics too. I know you can ban people from chat. Maybe you can't. Maybe we can't ban them. I'm pretty sure if we ban them from chat, it bans them from bidding too. But I'm not entirely positive. They should have it where no one under a certain feedback can bid. See, I don't agree with that. I think zero feedback accounts should be able to bid. I'm very against the whole shill bid detective work that goes on. The amount of times over the years that I've done an auction, it's been won by a zero feedback bidder, that some shill bid detective would have said, oh, that's zero feedback, 100% bid. Some people create an account to buy, like, a certain card. Some people, they just so happen to start their first foray into eBay, which used to be almost entirely auctions. Their first foray into eBay just happens to be a Pokemon card auction. And Z&G Emporium might have 1,000 auctions ending any given Sunday. For someone to have 100% bid activity with James with zero feedback is actually plausible and reasonable, and it probably happens almost every week. Almost every week, I would wager to say someone with zero feedback is winning a James auction, paying as a legitimate buyer. I would heavily wager in favor of that being a thing. So yeah, anyways, sorry Sebastian. Sorry Sebastian. I got on a very long rant. This is what I do on this channel. I will get back to addressing the question, but I got on a side quest there. Almost at 100 viewers in under 10 minutes. So the long meandering thing. Let me go back to where I was 5 minutes ago. I went to my safe. My safe is built inside of a vault room that I built. So there's like a vault room that's fireproof room with a fire safe in it, with a data safe inside of it, with a cool pocket, with a cool pocket trademark inside of it, a Liberty cool pocket. Because if you put a slab like this in a fire safe and your house burns down, it will be destroyed. Even though it's a fire safes are made to protect money. They're not made to protect plastic. Plastic will melt, warp, destroy your cards at 180 to 200 degrees, somewhere in there. Another thing that's in my cool pocket. These things, media. I have a media safe. These would likely be destroyed. Yes, one to say NFT, one to say crypto. That's pretty dark. How dark is that? That I have a special NFT designated Ledger Nano S, and then I also have a one for my crypto, a hardware wallet. If you don't hold the keys, you don't own the coins. I'm very much in that. But I was having a conversation earlier in office hour, and I promise you, Sebastian, I'm getting there. I'm getting there as Pokemon safer than crypto. So I'm faced with a decision. I own not quite 2 Bitcoin, but more than 1 Bitcoin. I don't remember exactly how many. I need to look tomorrow and see how much I own. I forget. I keep some on a hot wallet on my Coinbase account, and I keep some on a cold wallet, on this cold wallet. I want to raise approximately, over the next month, I want to raise $50,000 to $100,000 in liquidity. I could sell 1 Bitcoin. Or I could sell stuff like this. If people don't know what these are, a lot of these cards right here, they're called Art Academy cards, not that one. A lot of these cards are Art Academy cards. They are 1 of 100 awarded for a competition back in 2015 when the Art Academy game came out on DS. They go for a few thousand a piece. Some of the Pikachus, like that PSA 10 Pikachu is probably almost $10,000. This is a trophy card that I bought in 2019. at the DC World Championships. If I liquidated all of this, which I'm contemplating doing, I think tomorrow I'm going to ship these to Fanatics. Let me do a quick plug for myself. So if you were to consign a card like these with me, all these cards will end over $2,400 in auction. Maybe not this one. I haven't kept up on that price, but maybe not that one. But if you were to consign cards like this with me, you would net out 95% of the total sales price with buyer's premium. So if this card, I'm going to estimate if this card were to end at $10,000, where it approximately is. So say it ended at $8,000 hammer price with a 20% buyer's premium, it would go to $9,600 with the total sale price. You would net 95% of $9,600. So $9,600 times 0.95, you would net $9,120 on this card if you were to sell it through my consignment service. The buyer would pay $9,600 and you would net $9,120. Some amount of that would be the Fanatics platform fee, and then some amount of that would be my commission as the consigner. But I think in lieu of selling one Bitcoin, I think I'm going to sell these cards. So talk versus walk. A lot of people will say, what is safer? What are you investing in? This, that, the other thing. I could sell some amount of crypto. I could sell some amount of Bitcoin, or I could sell some amount of slabs that I have. Slabs that are like former collection, long-term inventory, whatever you want to call them. Or I could sell sealed. I do have over 6 figures of sealed. I could tear into the pallet that I said I'm holding till 2030. I'm not going to do that because I said I'm going to hold it till 2030, and I'm going to. But I have 6 figures, over 6 figures of sealed inventory otherwise. Okay. Yeah, I accidentally I touched my microphone and then I saw my green bar stop bouncing. But I could sell. So I was talking in my office hours earlier, the Patreon, Pokenomics Patreon office hours, and I was like, I want to raise a certain amount of liquidity, maybe 50 grand to 100 grand worth of liquidity, just for future collection buys in the next month or so. I could do it instantly by clicking a couple buttons and selling some of this, or I could do it in a few weeks by selling all of these, clicking a few buttons on Fanatics, or I could click a few buttons, ship a few big packages, and sell that much in. I could sell 2 Evolving Skies cases and 20 cases of this and 10 cases of that, and I'm choosing to do these cards. So if you want to ask, like, I don't think these cards are like bad investments. I don't think they're bad speculations, but what would I rather hold? I would rather hold the little Bitcoin I own at $90,000 per Bitcoin than hold these cards. Like talk versus walk. It's very easy, and people will chime in. I guarantee you, people are chiming in chat as I'm not looking at it. People who don't own hardly any Bitcoin, hardly any slabs, hardly any sealed, probably have very strong opinions about it. But like, what is an actual person who actually has 6 figures of these 3 different things? What are they doing? That's what I'm doing. I hold very little slabs for the long term. And these, what are they? 1, 2, 3, 4. These 9 slabs, I would not classify as investments. These are former collection pieces / long-term inventory. I didn't really buy them with the intent for them to go to the moon. Most of them are significantly higher than when I originally bought them. Not all of them are up a lot. Some of the Art Academies are probably pretty flat. I want to say I paid a few grand for that one, and that one's probably still only a few grand. But some of them are up a lot. I think I paid about 3 for that one. It's worth about 10. I paid about 6 for that card. That's probably worth at least 30. But I think it's time to sell these ones. Long-term capital gains. Get that cash flow out. Because when I made my video on Monday about exit strategy, and I talked about buying collections, the amount of, and this will go to where, like, Dan, why are you raising 50 to 100K worth of capital? When I made a couple videos and I made a couple of posts in my Discord, in Alex's Discord, when I made a couple like, hey, live streaming is going on, I want to buy your slabs, I want to buy your singles, I want to buy your sealed at 80% to fuel my live streaming business. I spent 50 grand in one day. Not one day, 1 week. 1 week. I'm just texting PK to let me know if it happens again. But I almost had more people reach out to me than I could afford to buy all at once. I almost was limited in my cash flow, in my ability to buy everything that came into my inbox. And I got a little scared. Like, oh crap, we're booming. I need more liquidity. I need more cash flow. And these cards right now, though I think over time, I think time will treat these cards well. I think I will treat myself well having that additional liquidity instead of having these cards. So I'm going to send these to Fanatics tomorrow. I likely will be auctioning them in the future. But there's Mr. James, get a Black Label Van Gogh, Pika, cash flow solved. Hopefully that happens. I do have dozens of these at Beckett, and hopefully that will solve the cash flow situation. But yeah, I sell the imaginary yellow mouse drawings. What are we doing? But that's a very interesting dilemma. Like not dilemma. First world problems maybe. If you had these three things. So today, if you had, say you had 150K of each, so you didn't have to like sell all of it. And approximately, that might be what I have in crypto, approximately. Sealed, I have more than that. Slabs, I have less than that. But say you had 150K in three different things. Well, I'll actually do a poll. I'm bad at engaging with chat, but I will do a poll. So which one do I sell? So let's see, what to sell. I don't even remember how to do a poll. Oh, start Q&A. Start a poll. So what to sell? Do I sell the slabs? Do I sell sealed? Or do I sell the crypto? If you needed to raise, if you had 150K of each, slabs, sealed, and crypto, which would you sell $50,000 to $100,000 worth to raise the liquidity that you wanted for whatever you wanted it for? So I'm going to do a poll just out of curiosity. Like, I'm very interested to see what people vote, because this is a dilemma that I'm facing right now in my business. I have, and I'll show the slabs again, slow-mo. This is a World Championship trophy card, 1 of 6 awarded. 1 of 6 awarded. There could be extra copies. One fundamental change that this has undergone in the past year is that formerly at Worlds, it would only be awarded to the VGC and TCG. Now it's awarded to 2 other tournaments. So 12 of these are awarded per year now. The art underwent a change, so it's not the same exact art, but 12 of these are awarded per year, per placement, and there used to be only 6. So the fundamentals got like weaker on this card, even though the art changed. This card's a Mysterious Pearl, 1 of approximately 1,000-ish, I think they say, is the print run. A 2007 Winter Challenge promo from a tournament back in Japan. And then all these ones are Art Academies, 1 of 100 awarded to the winners of the art competition back in 2015. And then the final one is a fan club EV promo. You had to get 500 points in the fan club, and then you had to redeem that for this card. So yeah, would people sell the slabs or the sealed or the crypto? Interesting. So 54 votes. That's actually a lot more votes than I expected. We have 114 people watching, and half have voted almost. It's your American duty to vote. Get out and vote. One of the most important votes you might have done all year. 68% saying sell the slab. So interesting to get not that I'm going to let democracy rule here. Not that I'm going to let the chat decide what I'm going to do, but the chat is reinforcing. I made a decision for myself, and then out of curiosity, I'm asking the chat. Equal amount of people. So 16% said sealed, and 16% said crypto. Now it actually went 17% sealed, 15% crypto. So people are holding Bitcoin, popping 20% in a week or whatever it's done. People are opting to hold that. These slabs are pretty flat. These slabs are pretty flat, maybe slightly down over the past 6 months to a year. I kick myself in hindsight. Hindsight is super easy. Rusty, TCA Gaming, offered me $50,000 for this slab 2.5 years ago or something like that. I was sentimental for this one. This is the one that I bought in person at 2019 Washington, D.C. Worlds. I still like the idea of it. It takes me back to that memory, that tournament. But like, I keep it inside my cool pocket, inside my data safe, inside my fire safe, inside my vault room. I never look at it. I never enjoy it. I don't do anything with it. I don't do anything with any of these. Not that I do anything with my Bitcoin. Not that I do anything with my Ultramodern Sealed. But like, yeah, to me, these are the ones to sell. I feel like short to medium term price outlook on these, I think, is mostly flat. That said, I truly think, as I'm selling these things, which is always ironic, I think that the Bitcoin that I'm not selling, Bitcoin could one day be $1 million. It could one day go back to $10,000. It could go back to $10. I have no effing clue. I love the idea of crypto. I actually love the utility of crypto. I pay out my consigners. I buy collections and pay in crypto because banks suck. I've made a video on how bad banks suck. I will make another video on how bad banks suck. So crypto actually solves a fundamental problem that exists in my life today. So I like crypto. I'm bullish, but cautiously bullish on its future. I'm not buying more, but I'm holding what I have. And the sealed, like I'm very bullish on the sealed. So I'm bullish on all three of these things. I just feel the need to sell one of them to increase my liquidity or my cash flow of my business. So yeah, I'm going to end the poll right now. We ended with 63% saying sell the slabs, 21% sell the crypto, and 16% sell the sealed. So people in here are bullish on sealed Pokemon. Not surprising, but people want to sell the slabs. Interesting to see. Very interesting to see. Crypto gang winning. Keep the scans, sell the slabs. Absolutely. Like, I mean, this piece of cardboard is only 2.5 inches by 3.5 inches. Why don't I take a high-res scan of it, blow it up, and put it on my wall? And I can put a picture of me and John. I saw Pokemon Radar in chat. I can put a picture of me and John from back in 2019 Worlds. I can do this, and then I can do a big collage, and it would better bring back the memories of 2019 Worlds than this one card does that I bought off of the guy who won it. I'll never lose that memory. I'll lose the symbol of that event, right? But same thing that goes for like the winner who sold this. Some people are like, oh, why would you buy someone else's trophy? I think it's cool, but I don't think it's $30,000 cool. Apparently 2.5 years ago, I thought it was $50,000 cool. What a wild world we live in where I turned down Rusty, $50,000 on this card. But, and now I'm selling it 2 years later for 30 grand. Maybe I'll hit up Rusty. Maybe I'll text Rusty after this live and say, hey, you want to buy that card anymore? I know you probably don't want to pay 50K, but I think he has a full set now, so I don't think he will be a buyer. But crypto is scam. I'm going to scroll up. I'm going to get back to all the questions that I missed. I will try to catch every question. If you can put a stop sign emoji, if you can put big capital letters question in front of your question, I will do better to grab it. But I will try to bounce back and forth between live chat and the old chat to grab all the questions as I go, as I always do. But yeah, I plan to be live for the next couple hours. There's the big rant that I intended to do at some point in this video, and I got it out of the way early. So I'm not 100% sure, because the other obvious thing, the other obvious solution is that I could sell a few of these. Maybe I sell the big one and then I sell a couple of the little ones. Maybe I keep the one that has the big number on it that I bought directly from the artist. I don't know. I could keep a couple of these, but I'm leaning towards just selling them all. I could sell some of these. I could sell a little bit of crypto. I could sell a little bit of sealed. But I think I'm just going to sell all these slabs. Aside from these slabs, I don't think you can see it. But yeah, you can't see it. But behind me, there's a PSA 9 first edition, PSA 9 first edition Shining Gyarados from Neo Revelation. That I consider in my PC. There's probably 5 to 10 grand worth of slabs that I consider in my PC that I don't intend to sell anytime soon. But if the price gets really silly on them, I will sell those as well. These ones I never did classify as PC, but I think they're undervalued in a lot of ways relative to the market. But how well has that treated me over the past couple of years? Not that well. Maybe that means something's going to happen with these cards in the coming months. Who knows? Dan's selling, so maybe they double next year. Hopefully not, but it could happen. It could happen. I held onto this one to watch it go down 40%. Then I'll sell it, and then it'll double. Maybe, maybe not. But Fatbelly Collect says, why do you need money? Cash flow. So I mentioned it earlier, but I had put out feelers on buying collections, buying sealed collections, slabs, raw for live streams. I put out a feeler for buying at 70 to 85%, and in 1 week I spent $50,000. I had the money to buy all that, and I bought it and I paid it, but I'm tighter on cash flow than I would like to be. I'm tighter than my cash flow goals are generally. So I want to get up to my former liquidity goal, and I want to stay there. And selling these quickly will get me there more quickly. I could just sell, and I actually have uncut sheets that I'm going to be listing. I think I saw Squeaks in here earlier. James says sell it all. I'm on the same page. I'm turning more and more into James as the hairline runs back every month. But I reached out to Squeaks actually if you wanted to buy any of my uncut sheets and Rusty, and I was gonna send them to Fanatics auction. Fanatics stopped auctioning sheets, so I'm torn on if I want to auction them with Heritage. Heritage does pretty well with uncut Pokemon sheets, or if I want to just buy it now them on eBay. I think for the short term, I think I'm gonna buy it now them on eBay and see if anything comes in. And all these have been on buy it now on eBay. All these are on my eBay currently. Very, very higher. Like, I've gotten some people kicking the tires on them, offering reasonably close to what they actually sell for, but I'm just going to auction them on Fanatics, I think. Supporting my own consignment service. Feel free to reach out if you want to consign. But yeah, those are rookie numbers. I'd pump those numbers up as the hairline runs back. Cheese. Let's see. I need to see what those NGC graded coins are. So very quickly, I'll show you these, and then I'm going to pop back to the questions that I missed. So, this does not have any protection on it. I just knocked this with my hand and it almost fell on the ground. That was dangerous. I'm going to put this down on my table now so I don't knock anything. So these are, I believe it's pronounced Niue. So these are actually currency in Niue. Back in 2001. These ones are the clad ones. So these ones I believe are like Cupro nickel clad, kind of like what a nickel is. Well, a nickel is actually zinc plated copper or something like that. These are just plated. They actually did release ones that were solid silver that are a fair bit more expensive. I believe they might have released some that were gold too, but maybe not. But it's a set of 5. It's Charmander, it's Meowth, Squirtle, Bulbasaur, and Pikachu. They're pretty niche, but they cross over my numismatic collecting and my Pokemon collecting, so I had to have them. I bought them years ago. Those are definitely PC. But I will scroll back. I will try to get to where I answer all the questions before they disappear. The Shining Gyarados almost just fell from like 6 feet onto a pretty hard floor. It might have fallen in the garbage can actually to save its life, but that was almost bad news. I need to get a graded guard on here. I don't think I have a graded guard handy. Here we go. I'm going all the way back to the beginning. Dan, can you spot me $40? Thank you, Kai, for the question. I cannot, unfortunately. As we just went through, I have a bit of a cash flow crunch myself, so I need to raise 50 to 100 grand. I do not have 40 to spot you. PokeChef has over 1,000 covers for Thanksgiving already. Enjoy that. Enjoy that. That will be a busy day in the chef world. Good luck. How's it going, Shinru? Hanging out, having a good time. Red Light Dan is absolutely back. Run some cards, Dan. Want me to do some live streaming? Catch my live streamers. While we're here, pull up PK on Fanatics Live. Tomorrow night, pull up Ponga on Fanatics Live. Use your code down in the description. If you've not signed up for Fanatics, actually, let me give this plug, because this is free money for you. It is an affiliate link, so I will get free money too. But it is free money for you if you do not have a Fanatics account and you are not if you do not have a Fanatics account, you will get $25 for signing up through that link when you add your shipping address and a payment method, and then I will get $25 if you buy something. There's also an additional code, CatchEm20. So if you do not have a Fanatics account, you will get $45 of Pokemon cards that PK is selling, that Ponga is selling, for $5. You have to pay the shipping fee, that's all. So yeah, shout out to that. If you want to go get $45 in Pokemon cards for free, use the affiliate link that I am posting right now in chat. That is free money. I mean, not quite free. It's a 90% discount. You got to pay $5 to get $45 worth of stuff. So I feel like that's pretty good value. If you want to take advantage of that, go do that. You can run PK muted on the side. I will pin that message for a little bit. I won't leave that there forever, though I think you can hide the pin if you want to. I do have some Terrestrial Festival pre-ordered. I have some stuff going straight to PK, straight to Ponga. I will dollar cost average down as it comes down. Part of the cash flow thing too is I just ordered a ton of Surging Sparks. I just had that hit. I have Palette 2 going on with my dad. I have Terrestrial Festival coming up. I want to buy a lot of that. 151 is coming down. I want to buy more of that. I have Prismatic Evolutions coming out in the spring. That's going to be, I'm going to take as much as I can get. I'm going to buy all I can get at 80% that people want to sell to me. But, oh no, Garen said his neighbor's house just burned down yesterday and it got him thinking. Yeah, I am very much like an insurance guy. So on top of having these things insured, I take assurances on my own end to have them protected as well. So they're like double protected. I actually, back in college, my apartment house burned down back in college. So I'm like sensitive to that, I guess, because I've actually gone through losing everything that I had there. I live with my parents back at home at the time. So it's not like I lost everything, but I lost everything that was in that apartment. People think their stuff is safe inside of a fire safe, but I'll try to not talk on the fire safe thing because that was 20 minutes ago, and this is what my live streams normally do. But what's your go-to dance move at all these weddings you'll be going to? I look around the dance floor, and if my wife's listening, she'll have a chuckle at this. I look around the dance floor, and I try to find one person, and I just imitate them. I did not dance much at the college friend wedding that I went to, even though I got really, really drunk. Usually I need to get pretty drunk to dance. I got really drunk and I didn't dance, so my wife was extra mad. But the Pokemon wedding that we just went to, I will say, Jake sang a couple songs. Awesome. Did an amazing job. And I actually got on the dance floor. I got on the dance floor. Me, Nick, Zach, we were all out there having a good time. We had Dylan there as well, Benji. It was a great time. I don't know what I'm doing out there. I try to fit in. I try to blend in as a nearly 6'5" dude sticking out like a sore thumb. I try to blend in though. Let's see. Do you think Versus is an underrated set? I think most things are appropriately rated, especially something that's so old. Like if people wanted to find it, most people would have found it by now. I guess people that are new to the hobby haven't had enough time to trickle down that funnel. Everyone starts at the top of the funnel. Only some people make it down to the bottom of the funnel where you have your Versus series, where you have all your mid-era stuff, where you have trophy cards like this. Like this stuff is way at the bottom of the funnel. Not everyone makes it there. Everyone sees 151. Everyone sees Prismatic Evolution. Everyone sees what's new and accessible and hot. But not everyone gets down to the niches of the niches. I think Versus is cool. Versus is cool. A lot of Japanese exclusive arts, things a lot of people probably won't be familiar with. So go over to Bubblepedia, open up a separate tab, go over to Bubblepedia and look up the Versus series set. It's really cool. A lot of cool artwork. Let's see. This is when I took the phone call. He's calling to ask if he prefers Chips Ahoy or Oreos. I read Dan's lips. He said Oreos. That's actually funny. So back on election day in school, they were talking about the importance of voting and all that stuff. And I'm not going to get into like politics and stuff here. But they had my son's class had to vote on the better cookie between Oreo and Chips Ahoy. And I have a very firm opinion. There's only one true correct answer on that. Let me know. Let me throw up another poll. We're throwing up polls. So what is the superior cookie? Is the superior cookie Chips Ahoy? Or is the superior cookie Oreo? There's only one correct answer. Let's see if chat is correct. And then I will tell you my answer once we have some data over here. See if you guys know what's up. Question, I know it's a bit far out. We'll revisit that in a couple minutes once I see some responses come in. Question, I know it's a bit far out, but what is your take on the Team Rocket set international release based on the upcoming set release we have for 2025? Main set or specialty set? I have no idea. I'm not someone who like looks really far out in the future. I try to engage, not engage very much with spoilers, but like I'm so chronically online. I'm so deep into Instagram and YouTube and Discord. I get assaulted with spoilers left and right, so I have no way to avoid them. If I could, I would. But I don't do the detective work of like, okay, Supercharged Breaker, what's going to be in our Surging Spark set? Like, shout out to all those people, Pokey Beach and Justin Bays, like all those websites, all those people that do that stuff. I'm just not that guy. I try to like live in the now. I try to take it like day by day, set by set. I have no idea. I would be 100% guessing if I had to guess if Rocket was specialty or main set. Brad says he'll stop bidding. We got Ethan in here. Let me come down to the live chat for a second, just so that I can get the commentary about the votes. I do see it's a heated battle. So I vote Oreo. So there's only 40 votes. We have 120 people watching. We have a very important, again, one of the most important votes you will have made all year long. Is Chips Ahoy or is Oreo the superior cookie? I will give it another minute or two, but right now I'm tempted to end it because the correct answer is winning. The correct answer is winning. The votes are going the way that I want to, so I want to stop the count. Stop the count. Oreo has won. I will give it one more minute though. Let me scroll down though. Let's see what people are saying about Oreo and so we got, let's see who's on Team Oreo. Zach saying that I have the moves. I absolutely do not have the moves. Do not trust that man. Dan is definitely doing the robot. That would be very fitting. Is the Pikachu SIR PSA 10 a good buy at $3,100? I do not think so. There's a lot of other stuff I would buy. I think a lot of these cards right here are sadly right around the same amount of money. I know you're probably asking that very, very sarcastically, but nice to see you in here, Goated Pulls. Thanks for stopping in. Leaf Green Goblin and James are saying yes. I'm not sure what they're saying yes about. But so Brad G, Team Oreo. I am Team Brad G here. The polls are close. 51 votes. 60 people in here have not yet voted, and I'm about to close the polls. Last call. 30 seconds to vote. Oreo's winning 54 to 46%. Get your votes in. Have your voice heard. Retrospect says Oreo, and it's not even close. the F. Correct. It is not close. Oreo is the winner. Swami's Team Chips Ahoy. PokeSun is Team Oreo, the winning team. Oreo is so overrated, says Ethan. Oh man, Oreo is the cookie. If you pick Chips Ahoy over Oreo, you are a psychopath. So according to Brad, according to I love this. I love this division though. This is the kind of thing that we should draw a line in the sand and we should divide and fight over. This is the appropriate thing to divide and fight over. I gave last call. I said 30-second warning. I'm closing the polls. The votes are in. Oreo wins in a landslide. Oreo wins all electors from the Catch 'em All Collectibles chat. So Oreo has won in a landslide with Chips Ahoy achieving no electoral votes. That was a fun little thing. President Welkaball says Chewy Chips Ahoy. Retrospect says Chips Ahoy is 3D printed chocolate chip. Let me get a couple more. Celestials Team Oreo. We got Gem Mint. Where's Gem Mint? 20 votes for the correct answer, Oreo. So Gem Mint dropping 20 gifted. Appreciate you very much. It was very nice seeing you again this past weekend at the wedding. Goated Pull says Chewy Chips Ahoy is goated. So fun to see people's opinions on the cookie wars. Oreos are literally pillars. Eat an Oreo without milk. Oh yeah, where'd it go? Do I still have it? Let me see. Yes. At the risk of I'm not just wearing boxers. I do have a pair of shorts on. How many Pokemon? Look at how much dust just came off that. How many just to reinforce the victor. How many times has Pokemon collaborated with Chips Ahoy? Boom. Mic drop. It's settled. Oreo has rightly and correctly won. You can't actually eat only one Oreo. It's impossible. What's the expiration date on these things? I promise you I will get back to Pokemon chat. But we take a lot of diversions. I think these expired. Oh yeah. 14th of March 2022. 14th of March 2022 these expired. Maybe on the 10-year anniversary of expiration, if I'm still on YouTube, maybe I'll do a live Q&A and eating a whole pack of Oreos with milk stream. That sounds like a fun one. You should get those Pokemon Oreos graded. But yeah, I'm going to scroll back up in chat. I will continue the Q&A. If anyone has any questions, feel free to leave them in chat. I'm hanging out for a couple more hours. But yeah, I don't want to miss. After an hour, the questions start disappearing. So I want to make sure I don't miss them. Please put, if you can, put a stop sign in front of your question. Put a fire emoji, put a rocket ship emoji. Anything you can put in front of your question to make it stand out more will be helpful. I do not intentionally skip any questions. I did hit that one earlier. I think it was asked again. Do you think Crown Zenith could get back to over $5 plus a pack now that Sam Club is sold out? So this is one of the sets that I'm actively buying. Talk versus walk. I am walking the walk. I believe in the future of Crown Zenith. Additionally, though, I believe in the short term of Crown Zenith because I buy it at 80% and then I sell it at 100% or 110%. And then I pay Ponga and PK and the Fanatics fees. But I make money. I buy them at 80% and I instantly flip them on the platform. Crown Zenith is one of our most popular sets to rip. I think current market price, let me pull up my spreadsheet. I want to say current market price is $437. So as of today, if you have up to 3,000 packs, maybe up to 5,000 packs of Crown Zenith, if you have them, I will buy them at $350 a piece. A lot of people probably won't want to part with them for that, though I know I do have some in the mail. I did buy some over the past week. People breaking down some stragglers that were left at Sam's Club. Maybe your Sam's Club is sold out, but I don't think they all are yet. So if you want to go to Sam's Club, if you want to go to wherever selling them, I am buying 151 at 80%, which is approximately $7. I will buy thousands of 151 at $7. I will buy thousands of Crown Zenith at $350 a piece. If you're interested, feel free to reach out, DM, Discord, wherever. I will buy those from you. If you want me to send first, I will pay PayPal goods and services. If you are comfortable with sending to me first, add signature to the package, and it will be fully insured for the full value through my business insurance. I will pay you with Zelle, PayPal friends and family. I will pay you with crypto, Bitcoin, USDC. Actually, I have some people ask me if I can pay in Doge or pay in Bitcoin or pay in Ethereum. I used to. I recently moved to stable coins only. So I live in New York. I can't do Tether because Tether is illegal in New York. I can only do USDC. So when I say crypto, I mean USDC only. I will pay out in ACH or Wire as well once I've received and verified. Is this boom growing at the same rate as the last boom? Some say this one will be stronger. I think this one already is stronger, given for the fact that like in 2020, 2021, they were printing way less cards. Production at the print facilities actually shut down for a few weeks. Production at PSA shut down for a few weeks. So I think by almost all metrics, this boom is bigger. Like, it's not hitting everything the same way. The last boom was bigger in that it hit everything, but we were literally getting free checks from the government and people were plowing them into Pokemon. That's not happening this time. There's no Logan Paul video. And we're going on vacations. We're going to weddings. We're going to the bar. We're going to football games. Our money is being spread more thinly this time. Last time, we couldn't do anything. The world was shut down. We had to go online and buy Pokemon cards because what else could you do with your life? So I think this one is bigger in every way. Will it last longer? I have no idea. But like, I think it's bigger and crazier in almost every way. Let's see. That would actually be huge. So the Kanto radio show, if you had to put, even if it was some token amount of money, if you had to put $5 on the line to open an eBay account and then you forfeited that if you didn't pay, more realistically, more ideally, if you had to pay a 10% cancellation fee or something, that would deter a ton of people. But the problem is that would deter a ton of people. eBay does not want to deter a ton of people from signing up to their platform. So they never will, I don't think. Oh, man. PokeChef said I'd sell some of that Bitcoin right now. So going back to what I said, like Porque no los dos, I will probably sell. So I don't want to turn this whole thing into like a crypto stream. I'm not advising anyone buy crypto. But my interaction with crypto over the years is that it's a novel idea. I like the concept. I don't think it will necessarily replace the dollar, change the world in that way. But I like it. I like it, so I buy it. I like the stock. I like the coin, so I buy it. Over the years, I've bought and then I've sold and I've bought and I've sold. So anytime I buy, if it goes higher, I won't buy again. If it goes lower, I won't sell again. But if it goes up a bunch and it feels high, I might sell. So I like bought some at 3,000 and I sold some near 10,000 and I bought some back at 5,000. I've bought and sold like a bunch. Maybe I'll make a video someday, or maybe I guess I'll just document it for my own benefit. I probably have it on some spreadsheet somewhere. But I will just buy it when it feels low. I will sell it when it feels high. I think the last time I sold was on the last run up to 60. I think I sold somewhere in the 50s. And on one of the last run downs into the 30s. I didn't buy in the 20s, but I bought some in the 30s, buying back in. I will never sell all of it unless it's like life-changing money, is something that I told myself. And I don't plan on buying it deeper than getting back above like 0. So like Bitcoin, Ethereum, I've net taken money out of them. I never plan on putting new money into them. I'm playing all with house money since I sold off all my original bases, and I never plan on going like I'm not way up on them. I'm way up on them on paper, but I've probably only pulled out 20 or 30 grand from crypto over the years. Like if I sold everything today, I would pull out net over 6 figures, but I don't feel the need to take that off the table. So I'm like 20 grand in the black, maybe in the green, however you want to say it. I might put up to 20 grand more into it at some point in the future as it falls, or say I sell 30 grand of it tomorrow, I would put up to 50 grand additionally into it if it were to fall again. But I will never put more to bring me into like where I'm net into crypto. Why is the Pikachu going to the moon if it's not the hardest card to pull? Price goes up, so price goes up. FOMO, Fanatics has got a site-wide bounty on it. $100 if you pull it, $100 giveaway for you, $100 giveaway for the stream. Let me check my text. It's probably my wife texting me or maybe PK texting me. No, I think it's not. No, it wasn't a text. It was an email. I thought it looked like a text. Dan tossing around one of my grails like nothing. He's about to start selling shares of his cards. That's actually one interesting thing too. The thing about this card is, unless I'm Logan Paul and I create Liquid Marketplace, it's all or nothing. It's binary. I own it, or I sell it and don't own it. One nice thing about Bitcoin is that I can fractionalize it down to the Satoshi, a 1/100 millionth or 1/100 billionth of a Bitcoin, whatever it is. One nice thing about a palette of sealed Pokemon is that you can sell 10% of it, 20% of it, 50% of it. You can sell it in waves. I don't like having this much money in one item that I can't subdivide. I just don't really like it. Like this, I just don't like the thought that there's no halfway with it. I guess with these, since these are like of a similar set, there's a halfway with these in that I can sell 1 or 2 or 3 of them. But with one like big card, it's all, this is the most valuable card I own by far. The next most valuable would be like this one, which is like a third of it. But once I sell these, if I do sell these, my most valuable card will be probably this one, which I consider PC. But if this goes high enough, I'm going to sell that too, because it's already over 2 grand, which is a lot of money. My Pikachu collection is dope. I don't understand crypto. Seems like it could go wrong very quickly. Yeah, I can't say I fully understand it. I don't fully understand the Pokemon market. I think I get it quite well. I've been in it for a decade. I've been full-time in it for 3 years, 3.5 years. But I don't fully get it. I don't get why someone, like, I don't value this thing at 30 grand. The only reason I still own it, the only reason I turned down 50 is because of all the other stuff I had. And the fact that I didn't sell this one, but I've owned 6 of these. I owned 1 1, 1 2, no, 1 1, 2 2s, 2 3s, and 2 4s maybe. I think I've owned 7. I think I've owned 7 different ones of these. I sold the other 6. So I guess I did. You can't fractionalize one single card, but I used to own, I never owned 7 at once. So I owned the set at once. I think I bought 7 total. The most I ever owned consecutively at one time was 5, and I immediately sold back down to 4 because I had gotten a duplicate in a short time. But shortly after completing the set, I completed the set in 2020 during the pandemic, early in the pandemic. And then late in the pandemic, everything went bonkers. I sold a lot of stuff, and about a year later, these things kind of peaked late relative to a lot of WotC, and that's when I sold most of them. So I didn't understand those things being. I sold my number 1 for $100,000. I didn't understand that. I couldn't wrap my mind around it. It was a lot of money, and in hindsight, I wish I sold them all. But I sold 4 out of the 7 at like pretty damn near the top, or at least the top for now. Maybe they go higher later. But I did pretty well. I didn't navigate it perfectly. Hindsight, I sold some early too. But like, it's all you can do. Let's see. Non-hollow. Oh, the Wyvern Chef Pika. Yeah, there's so I guess I have. Yeah, there. I don't have the Wyvern, but the Melly's more like a baker. The Melly's a baker, whereas the Wyvern is more like a cook, chef, whatever. What do I need the liquidity for? Probably heard me answer it already, but I need it for the business. I need it for keeping the streamers fed. I need it for filling the pallets. I need it for other things. I need it for other things in Pokemon. It's not coming out of Pokemon. That's part of why I don't want to sell the crypto too, because I'm putting this into Pokemon specifically. So I want to take from Pokemon and put it back into Pokemon. So less individual slabs, more sealed, more inventory, more buying at 80%, selling at 100%. Top signal, Dan selling his grails. It might be a bottom signal. The fact that I'm selling these things now, maybe it's a bottom signal. Maybe these things are going to rocket, but maybe it's also a top signal. I have no idea. This is where I muted myself. Sell it all. Bet you won't. He's chicken. Now that Squeak's Game World has shamed me into being a chicken, now I'm going to have to sell it all. Oh, wow. Turned my Ledger Nano X on last week for the first time in over a year. It wouldn't charge. I had to physically heat for a few minutes. Nice thing about these, again, not to get like too, but I have the seed phrases written down separately. So like if my house were to burn down, theoretically, where I have these stored and where I have these stored should be safe, should be fine. But even if it wasn't, I have seed phrases stored elsewhere, cold storage, I guess you would call it. But yeah, they are stored in a safe place, multiple locations, all that good stuff. What are your plays with the 100K you're expecting? Solely buying inventory, buying at 80%, selling at 100%. That's the strat. What is BITB? BITB is a Bitcoin ETF. Okay. I've not played with crypto in an ETF. I'm very much of the opinion, like, if you don't have the keys, if you don't have the seed phrase, they're not your coins. I am leery of storing too much on exchanges. These days I think exchanges are a lot safer than they used to be back in the Mount Gox days. But like I knew people who lost money in that Mount Gox thing. I knew people back in college who were interacting with Bitcoin. I didn't start until after, when Bitcoin was around 200 bucks a coin is when I started interacting. But it came out in 2009. I knew people in college, 2010, 2011, that were playing in Bitcoin. And I know some people that still have some of it. I know most people that screwed around with it, gambled it away on European betting sites like I did with the first Bitcoin I bought. And a lot of people just don't have it anymore. Let's see. Golden Tea Gang, rise up. Yeah, I'm on team Golden Tea with you, Bierski. Let's see. Here we go. It's okay, Dan. I'll loan you 50K. We got Squeak's Game World Shark Tank going on here. I'll loan you 50K, 4% loan for 12 months, 4% equity for the same 12 months. We got Ryan Bailey keeps shouting out the ETF. I wish my girlfriend looked at me the way Dan looks at liquidity. Oh man, run a poll. I did run a poll. I have a good amount of both, and I agree it's a close call, but yeah, sell slabs over Bitcoin. There's only one correct answer here. I'd sell sealed because I'd open it if I didn't. I mean, that's a good call too. If you can't control yourself with the sealed, selling the sealed would be a safe play. Normally I'd go slabs, but those slabs, no. Where to buy sealed crypto? I also started my own sealed pallet because of you. Mine is only 15K, but I'm going to walk the walk too. Ryan Bailey, shout out to you. Hopefully opportunity cost is being considered. Hopefully risk is being considered. Disclaimer, Dan has got to come out here and say all those things. But yeah, the fact that we got another Poke Pallet out in the world, you love to see it. Hopefully that performs well for you. Hopefully it all performs well for all of us. The Kanto radio show said he'd sell equally. Sell the sealed. All I saw was vintage PSA 9's Brick City. I'm working my way through chat. I'm currently 30 minutes behind it. I'll try to not get further than 30 minutes behind. One of the votes of the year. Isn't this two wolves and a sheep deciding who to eat for dinner? Uh, 50K, oh my, tell TCA sold. That was years ago. The 50K offer on this card was years ago. That does not stand anymore. I think I talked to him like a year later on it, and the offer did not stand anymore, not surprisingly. Sell everything and buy bonds. Interesting. Sealed the safest Chilling Reign 1 million before Bitcoin. Cheval's calling for $1 million Chilling Reign booster box before Bitcoin $1 million. Who knows? Who knows? Tell me that my surging PC ETBs are good buys because I hear that set now sucks. Regulation needed. As of today, your PC ETB were very good buys, assuming you got them at retail. You can sell them now for profit. So if you bought them already, what they'll do in the future, I don't know. I didn't buy any. Better to sell Surging Sparks post Black Friday, Cyber Monday after we see the results from the TCG player 10% kickback. So if I had Surging that I wanted to get rid of today, I started with 38 cases allocated to me. I sent 8 cases out to my streamers. 4 more cases are outbound to my streamers right now. So that's 12 cases. 4 cases went to the pallet. 4 cases are on eBay. So that's 20 cases worth of boxes are gone or accounted for, listed somewhere. 18 cases are unaccounted for. I'm not like falling over myself to sell them, but I'm also not like completely opposed to selling them. If I knew that I was selling them this year one way or the other, I would probably list 9 now and just take the money, and I would probably list 9 within a couple weeks. That's what I would do. I don't feel the need to sell my 18 cases of Surging Sparks that are unaccounted for. So as of right now, I'm just sitting tight. Once my 4 sell out on eBay, if they do, I think I have them at $1,034.99 on eBay. If those sell out, I'll probably list 4 more at like 1,100 or something, or maybe 1,200. See if we get to 200 a box. Who knows? But yeah. Any thoughts on Flesh and Blood? No thoughts whatsoever. I've never played with that. I've consigned a few Flesh and Blood cards, but I don't know anything about it. Do banks and Venmos etc block you from transactions or hold you up? Keeps happening to me. It's all this extra workaround to push the transactions through. Any work around that? PokeChef clearly did not watch my bank rant video. I will have another bank rant video coming soon. I have never had my Bitcoin, Ethereum, USDC. I've never had those transactions delayed. I can send obscene amounts of money obscenely quickly and quite cheap. Banks have been nothing but a headache. My former credit union that I had locally, my current Chase Bank, the amount of times I've had fraud delays put on. I had to go to the bank for 3 or 4 hours one time. I was in branch, in person, in the bank, with the teller, with the manager, with someone on the phone, with the fraud department, like telling them I'm a real person. I consign a lot of high-end cards, and this is real money that I need to move now. And nightmare. I've spent in the past 2 months since I got Chase, I've probably spent 10 hours on the phone, 4 hours in branch, just trying to move money from myself to my consigner and all that stuff. And it's mostly sorted out now. Over the past 2 weeks, I've only had to call one time, and it was because I did a new transfer style. So on Chase, I've done Zelle. The first time I did Zelle, it broke, fraud, declined, all this stuff. First time I did a wire, fraud, declined, all this stuff. First time I did an ACH, fraud, declined, have to call, fix it. And the first week, I did all 3 of those multiple times. So the first week was hell. The first week was a nightmare. This past week, or last week maybe, last week, I did for the first time a same-day ACH. I paid a little extra to get an ACH sent quicker, which is annoying because I can send 50 grand USDC for a few bucks. If I need to send 50 grand ACH same day, it's not a lot, but it's 25 bucks. If I need to send $1,000 though, it's 10 bucks. It's 1% up to $25 is the max. So the first time last week I sent same day ACH, I had to call for half an hour. You gotta go on hold. You gotta verify your identity over the phone. Like probably, maybe not 30 minutes, but probably 20 minutes, probably a 20-minute phone call. So it happens all the time. And that is one reason that I like crypto. I hate banks. I don't think they're going to take over, sadly. I don't think crypto will take over, but I almost wish it would. I wish USDC or something equivalent would take over because banks suck. They make you feel like a criminal for moving around your own money. Yes, absolutely, Chef. Hopefully that rant, you're still here 30 minutes later for that rant. And there's a full video. Chef, there's a full video where I ranted about banks, and there will be another full video. That's a repeat putting the stop sign in front. The stop signs do help. Some kind of fence sitting, so you, Daniel. What's the process for sending in slab sealed raw? Can we just send it in, or do we have to itemize it? So if you're sending in to consign with me, unfortunately, there is no sealed right now. There's no sealed or raw. Consignments are, you send to them, the address is down here, you send directly to my vault, you tell me what's coming first. So you need to tell me some amount, like what's coming. Is it going to be 50 slabs worth approximately whatever? For insurance reasons, I need to know what's in there in case it got lost and it had to be an insurance claim. Email me the tracking. I will create a spreadsheet. I will share to you a tracking sheet to follow your consignments as the things are sold and paid and as I pay you. Assuming you might be talking about sending slab sealed and raw to me. So there's two different addresses. Let me see if I can pull it up on screen. There's two different addresses that I have. Excuse me. There's two different addresses I have. One is UPS eligible and the other one is USPS eligible. It is a PO box. I have a street address. If you're using USPS, let me why can I not? So this is my old eBay consignment thing that I'm no longer doing. Why can I not crop it? Let me see if I can pull this up on screen. So let me do a new image. Call it PO box. We will grab what folder? Okay, we will grab this image. So ignore everything at the top. This is solely for the addresses because these are my shipping addresses. eBay Vault Consignment is discontinued. I recommend. So if you're selling Fanatics, sell with me. I will sell your cards cheaper than you can sell them on your own Fanatics. I sell them matching or beating all the other consignment services that sell through Fanatics. If you're selling with eBay though, I do recommend you go with James, Z&G Emporium. This is not a sponsored ad or anything. I'm just friends with James. I sell some of my own cards through James on Z&G Emporium now. I referred all my consigners, my former eBay Vault consigners, over to James. But if you're selling to me, so USPS is this address. It's my PO box. UPS, it's my PO box, but it's written in a format for UPS to ship to. They will both make it to me. So if you don't trust me, which is fair, like I'm just some guy on the internet, but I've been around for a long time. I'm not going to scam anybody. Never have, never will. I have a lot of consignments. I have a lot of like trust and name built over the years. I'm not going to scam you over, let alone actually Zach Gemmit Pokemon was in here. He sent to me a $250,000 Charizard and I didn't fly out of the country with that. So I'm not going to do it with whatever you're selling me, whatever you're sending me to consign. But yeah, if you're selling to me, if you don't trust me yet and you want me to pay up front, I can, but I will have to pay PayPal goods and services so that I'm protected. I will pay PayPal goods and services up front. I buy slabs, singles, and sealed, 70 to 85% of their market value. I target generally slabs under $50. If they're over $100, I think you're better off consigning with me than selling to me. Under $50 is the sweet spot for my streams. I will go up to 100 maybe, because under 120, my fees are not great. My fees are worse than selling with Fanatics yourself. But above 120, my fees are better across the board than selling with Fanatics yourself. So yeah, if you want to sell your slabs, singles, I target again. I do buy collections of raw high-end alt arts with intent to grade the ones that are worth grading, and then any of the misses I sell on TCG Player or elsewhere. But I can't really stream raw Moonbreons. I can't stream, PK and Ponga can't stream raw Moonbreons, raw Rayquazas. We can't stream that high end of raw, but I will buy it. I will buy it at 70 to 85%, depending on what it is. If it's near mint plus, if it's packed, like if there's a chance some of it I might be able to slide out some grading plays, I will pay up to 85% depending on what it is. So feel free to reach out. I can tell you what number in that range I will pay. And if you trust me, if you do trust me, you send it to me. You send me a list up front. We agree on price. Obviously, we have to agree on price first. You ship it to one of these two, same place, my PO box. And once I get it, same day, Monday to Friday. If it lands Saturday, I won't get it till Monday because I don't go to the post office on the weekends. But I will pay you same day. I will verify all your slabs. I will verify all the packs. I will verify all the singles. And I will pay you out Zelle, PayPal Friends and Family, USDC. I will pay you ACH or wire. I will get out my checkbook and I will write you an old-fashioned check. Where's my checkbook? My checkbook is usually right here somewhere. Oh, I used it the other day. Someone wanted to be paid out with checks. So I will get out my old school checkbook and I will write you a check if I need to. All these things generate no government documents, no 1099s. You still need to legally do what you need to do with those payments that you take in, but there's no government document like you would get selling on your own Fanatics, selling on your own eBay. So that is some amount of a benefit to some people for whatever reason that is. But yeah, so if you are fine being paid afterwards, I will receive it, I will verify it, I will pay you same day. So that's the process. Like, reach out to me, we'll agree on price. I comp off eBay, Fanatics, like recent sold. I don't live and die by the actual alt value. I will look at the actual sales. Say the alt value is 67 and the actual sales are 70, 70, 75 for the last 3 sales. I'll value that at 73. And I will pay you 75% on $73, not on 67, if alt calls it 67. TCG Player, use the TCG Player app, use the Collector app. Those are great. You scan the cards in, boom, I pay you 70% of the list or whatever it is. Some of those are a little bit high. Some of those are a little bit off depending on the cards you're selling. So, like, there's times where I have to adjust. I have to do, like, a sanity check of that price is way off. I can't pay 70% of that because that price is not real. But that's generally how the process works. Protect the Shining Garys at all costs. I started off as a stacker. I did. So back in the boom bubble, the silver bubble of 2011, I was actually selling a lot of silver. I was selling a lot of coins. I did junk silver. I did a little bit of bullion. I was doing some hand poured bars. I was doing some all different kinds of stuff. Some bullion, silver eagles, government and non-government bullion. But mostly junk silver, mostly like Mercury dimes, Standing Liberty quarters, Washington quarters, Franklin halves, all those things. I love all that history. What's the best insurance company for collectibles? So look on my channel 2.5, 3 years ago. Maybe I need to update that video. I did a video on insuring your collection, insuring your inventory as a business. I use Collectors Insurance Services. I'm not sponsored by them, but I use them and I'm a very happy customer. I'm British, so I have no idea what Chips Ahoy is. I'm where we were voting on our favorite cookie. 120 watching. Bless the hobby. I am going to try to catch up. I wonder where I could get a hold of the Japanese version of the Team Rocket set when it comes out. Where else but with Giovanni himself? Look at the avatar. It's Giovanni himself. _retrospecs on Instagram is where I have pre-ordered my Terrestrial Festival. It will be landing to my streamers day of or maybe day after, within a couple days of release. And then I have more stuff coming for long-term holding, and I have some coming for eBay. Retro is the guy who does all my fulfillment of Japanese booster boxes on eBay. What's your longest turnaround on a card? I'm considering buying junk slabs and singles for slow burn inventory, but with limited cash flow, should I be focusing on hit slabs? What's your longest turnaround on a card? Does that mean, like, what's the longest time I've held a card? I probably have some cards still. Like this Shining Gyarados. It's a 5 cert. I don't remember when I bought that. I have some slabs kicking around that I bought probably in 2014 still. I have some amount of, like, ones that I lost accidentally holding. Maybe they were a gift. Maybe I'm keeping them in the actual PC. But there's not too many slabs, but definitely several years. There's some stuff that I've had for several years. There's some stuff that I've listed for a few years and it didn't sell because I listed it at a bad time. Price went down. I didn't readjust the price. But these days, I'm trying to, like, get stuff moving faster. Auctioning through Fanatics, live auctioning at Fanatics, sending to James for eBay. I do some stuff on my own eBay, but anything above, like, 250, I'm doing mostly through James now. One exception, though, at the very high end, I do have to, like, give the full disclaimer, Dan. I would sell this on my own eBay for cheaper because anyone with a store, so you pay 12% up to $2,500, and then after $2,500, you only pay 2.35%. If they're international, you pay an additional percent. But, like, if I sold this for 30 grand on my own eBay, 30 grand, I would pay, let me just do the math really quickly. I would pay 27,500 times 0.0235 plus 2,500 times 0.12. So I would only pay $946 on 30,000 to sell this card. That's like 3%. 1,000 on 30,000. I would only pay a 3% fee to sell this on my own eBay. Whereas on James, I'd have to pay 5%. So I'm gonna send that to Fanatics anyways. But there is like on the very high end, like when I sold Zach's Charizard, that actually sold to the eBay vault for 0% fees. That was a $217,500 sale for 0%, which was amazing. But like on the extremely high end, you actually do sell for a little bit cheaper than a consignment service that nets you 95%, because everyone with a store, I think even without a store, I think it's at 7,500. You pay 12% up to 7,500, and then you pay 2.35% thereafter. But that's very exceptional. That's very uncommon for Pokemon cards to be significantly over 30,000, like 10, 20, $30,000. Last time I cracked a CGC slab. I did look at this one. Since this one's an old cert, honestly, before I send this, I probably will at least get the cleaner new slab. It got 8.5 centering, which is probably fair because it's pretty off center. This one's not a PSA 10 for sure. I probably should PSA 9 it though. It would PSA 9. I'll probably crack this. So the last time, if you talk to me tomorrow, the last time I will have cracked a CGC slab will have been earlier that morning, because I'll probably crack this in the morning. But aside from that, I have been cracking slabs again lately. I talked about this earlier in my office hour, but I only have a couple dozen labels around me right now. I'm saving the labels close so that when they come back, I might make a video, I might not. But I have a couple big upgrades that have already happened. I'll probably talk about them at some point, but not right now. Let's see. 70% of Oreo is cardboard, which I see why you like it. That's funny. AJ Kicks wants a revote, wants a recount. Anything with Pokemon in the title is auto 1K views, and Dan is running polls on cookies. Can't make this stuff up. Oh man, that's funny. I'm not a Thin Mint guy, so I'm gonna try to wrap up the cookie talk very quickly. One last cookie thing. Let's all line in the sand. Choose your victor. I'm not gonna do a poll for this one because that'll get it too. I'm not a Thin Mint guy. I'm a Samoa guy. Superior Girl Scout cookie is Samoa, S tier. Maybe that shout out Box Nostalgia podcast. They finished shortly after I started. They started tonight at 8 o'clock. I watched a little bit, but I obviously couldn't finish it because I had to go live. They should do a tier list of Girl Scout cookies. Samoa S tier. I don't want to talk about it. I'm not even a big coconut guy, but the ratios that they do everything in the Samoa is perfect. Chef's kiss, some might even say. Samoas. Tagalongs. Tagalongs are A tier. Everything else is like distinctly far behind. But those are that's my take on Girl Scout cookies. Let me go quickly to live chat. So Jay Avila's on my side. Grimer's on my side. Love to see it. But yeah, let me Samoas are too heavy. A tier. I'll take an A tier. I mean, I can't. A tier's fair, but S tier for me. I'm going back up to the chat though. I'm not gonna divert to cookies for 20 minutes again. From what I'm hearing so far, Team Rocket is likely a specialty set. I have heard a little bit of Detective Pikachuing going on. I'm just not that guy. People are leaning towards not Detective Pikachu, leaning towards Team Rocket being a specialty set. I'll go heavier on the Japanese booster boxes if it is. I do like the idea of getting booster boxes, but like ETB cases are fine too. If it's solely a specialty set in the US, I will stock up heavy on the ETBs, and I will throw some of those on the pallets for 6+ years. But yeah. We'll see. Oh, I scrolled too far up in the chat. Let me see. Where am I? Here we go. Is it worth... Oh. I thought this was a real question. I saw the question mark. Is it worth cracking that Oreo sealed and selling the singles? I might be able to get like 50 cents a pop at a convention. I don't know. I might be able to get better at a convention. 0 Oreos I can eat without milk. I'm doing cookies again. I need to stop. Any thoughts on reprints for the coming holidays? So I'm not like panic selling everything. in anticipation of reprints. I've heard from many other people, and I'm aware of it too, historically. Reprints have dropped around this time in the past, like fairly often. Not every year probably, but quite often. Reprints have dropped around the holiday season, reasonably. I know, like hearing from Brian, PokeNE, I'm not getting calls and emails from my distributor. Hey, do you want any Paradox? Hey, do you want, like, a lot of times when some of these restocks come lately, they get gobbled up by the people at the high end. They don't even make it down to me. My distributors, other distributors will just hit up their high-end clients and they'll sell the stuff by the pallet. They'll sell the stuff by 20 cases, 40 cases. Little old me is only taking 20 cases at release. And actually, just yesterday, I ordered 4 cases Scarlet and Violet base. I ordered 4 cases. I ordered like 12 cases of the few things that are available to me, because there's not much available to me. And I just, yeah, I wanted to throw a little bit more into that now that I have this outflow of so many packs, outflow of so many boxes with the streaming. But I have no insider knowledge. I would expect some amount of sets to be reprinted. I think 151 is a reasonable suspect. Twilight Masquerade is a reasonable suspect. 151, we did get notice of some amount like that product coming in the spring. So there's some product coming in the spring. If I had to speculate, I don't think that'll come to me through distribution. I think that'll be a Costco, Sam's Club, Target, Walmart type thing. Kind of like the Crown Zenith Sky Collection, whatever they call it. So yeah, I think Twilight Masquerade would be primed. Paldea Evolved could be again, though it did get one recently. Obsidian Flames, who knows? Like, that one's popping up decently. Any of the sets aside from like Scarlet Violet base, Paradox Rift, probably won't, like, but any of them could be. Any of them within the past couple years could be. Who knows though? Sam's here will only sell 25 a visit. You just have to visit and then go to your car and then visit and then go to your car and then visit. And I know Danazard might be familiar with that. I think this is the one that I addressed earlier. Is the boom growing as fast as the last boom? My pallet 6-month return video. I think I still have it handy. So yeah, this was as of, oh, I need to get that overlay for when I'm full screen, because I actually do have a Stream Elements overlay that's showing all of Zach's gifted. I'll have to stay on this screen for a minute now. So all of Gemmint Pokemon's kindness and generosity can be shown. All the gifted subs that he sent to people. But this was as of almost 2 weeks ago. As of almost 2 weeks ago, my first pallet is up 20%. The S&P 500 is up 14%. Bitcoin's up 20%. Oh my God, looking at this now. Look at this now. 12 days ago, Bitcoin was 70,000. And today it's 90,000. What a world we live in. If I did my 6-month recap video 2 weeks later than I actually did it, that would have been a wild number for Bitcoin. I don't know what gold and silver are doing, but that's so wild. I think in a lot of ways though, this boom is crazier, because even though it's not as widespread in Pokemon, the stock market's ripping, crypto's ripping, everything is hot, and the world's not shut down. We're not getting free money put in our pockets. But yeah, Stream Elements. I need to get my Stream Elements overlay so that it's here on the screen in this view too. I only have it in that 2cam view. Interested in a Black Label English Lugia. I am very interested in consigning a Black Label English Lugia. I think Black Labels do really, really well at Fanatics, and I'm fairly confident it will get over $2,400, and I will net you out 95% of the total sales price. So feel free to reach out. I would not be a buyer of one of those. I will definitely consign one of those though. Can I pay in Oreos? Do you think that TCG will keep releasing sets, Rocket, Legendary, and then do massive reprints on most sets? I have no idea. I can only speculate. I think some amount of reprints will continue to come. 151 reprint is coming through that collection thing that they showed on Poke Beach that I forget what it's called. But reprints are definitely happening. Reprints are definitely coming. Paldea Evolved happened not that long ago. I picked up 4 cases at 105 a box. That's all I got, and I had to pay extra. But it's already doing well relative to what I paid to it, even though it was inflated. I still can't figure out when I'm going to sell my BTC. I've been DCAing every month since 2015 and have not withdrawn any of it. Wow. See, what I've done is, like, I've only bought and sold approximately 1 time per year since I've been in it. I've done a very particular, like, sell 25% of what I have. and then I say I sell it at 60. When it goes down to 30, I buy back with the same amount that I had sold prior. So I buy back double the Bitcoin I had sold, or I buy back 50% more Bitcoin than I had sold. That's my only interaction with it. Very slow, very passive. Not the right word, but apologies to the people who are asking the same question like 5 times. I'm just that far behind chat. I'm doing what I can, but I will get to every question. If you ask a question, I will get to it. I did already answer this one. I appreciate you asking the questions. What's your favorite SIR artwork from the Scarlet Violet era? I'm so bad at picking favorites. Constantly, my kids are asking me like, "What's your favorite this? What's your favorite that?" I'm gonna say the newest one. I'm gonna say the Pika from the newest set. Go over to PK's stream and try to pull it. Go over to Pongo's stream tomorrow night and try to pull it. Moderner, betterer. So the Pikachu from Surging Sparks is the best one. I'm absolutely kidding there. It's not actually my favorite. There's so many beautiful ones though. There's so many beautiful ones. And to be honest with you, I am not great at what is an SIR and what is an IR and what is this and that and an altar. And like, I am not even entirely sure what some of the arts that are coming to my mind even are. Like I would have to just look at a list and I would have to pick. And if you asked me a week later, I would probably pick a different one from the same list. I'm just really bad at like favorites. How do you pay in crypto and do taxes? Do you just buy in USD each Bitcoin transfer and send immediately to reduce taxes? Or do you just ignore and are you up and down and that kind of nets itself out? So if I buy in crypto, I buy USDC, a stable coin, with USD. I buy USDC, I send it, and then it's easy because I just, the USDC, like the USD, say I'm buying 20 grand. It's a 20 grand expense. There's no fluctuation. That's part of the reason too why I don't deal in Bitcoin, why I don't deal in Ethereum. Because technically, like if I bought 20 grand of Bitcoin and then I waited 2 hours to make the buy and the Bitcoin went up 5%, technically I'd have to like report that gain. It just gets messy. So I only pay out consigners in stablecoin, USDC, and I only buy collections in stablecoin. Aside from there's been some consigners that have persisted on it needs to be Ethereum or whatever, and I have made it happen before. I just don't like to. If it has to be Ethereum or Bitcoin, I can and I have, but USDC 99% of the time. When will we get a Weedle's warehouse storage unit type video from you? We want to see the kingdom. My stuff is messy. I do not have a storage unit per se in that like respect. I do not have a storage unit like that. I have some space that my dad has some space. My dad has some space that our joint investment pallets are going into. And I don't feel like filming in there. I don't think anything will be gained from that. I've done pictures, but I've never done a video because it's just messy. I'm a messy person. I'm not very organized. This is very curated, this background. Everything around me, everything on my desk, everything everywhere is messier than it should be. Do I think the Giratina V will go up? If I have a slab, I'm generally selling it. I don't really speculate in slabs. I buy at 80%, I sell at 100%, I grade what's worth grading, and I sell those when they're graded. Celestial has 16 cases of surging left. I want to keep 4 for myself. So yeah, if I was selling 12, if I told myself I am selling 12 this year, I would probably sell 6 today, and I would probably sit for like a few weeks on 6 and see what's happening, and then sell the other 6 like maybe in 2-3 weeks. Dave Person has one of every trophy. Yes. I could absolutely see gold stars going up over the next few years. But that said, I'm not speculating. I'm not investing in gold stars. The only money I hold long term in Pokemon is pretty much in Modern Sealed. And like, even though I don't distinctly hold things separately, I'm constantly buying collections, and I have a big inventory. I have a lot of money in inventory, so I'm like invested in this stuff. If it swings up, if it swings down, my net worth, my business inventory value is swinging up and down a lot every day that anything makes a major move, right? So I'm in this stuff a lot. If it goes up a bunch over time, I'm benefiting from that in every different avenue. I probably don't have a lot of gold stars necessarily, but I have a little bit of a lot of different things, or a decent bit of a lot of different things. Are the Pokemon Center ETB promos worth grading? Some of them go for crazy numbers. They go for crazy numbers in PSA 10. That said, they're very hard to grade. Look up the one that you're looking after. Like if you're talking about Obsidian Flames, that Charmander, I want to say, it went for like $500 at one point. I don't know if it's up or down since then. I have a handful of sealed Obsidian Flames ETBs that I bought at 80% off of somebody who wanted out of them. And I'm not cracking mine to make that play. You got to look at the numbers. Look at the numbers, and the EV will likely be negative given how low the 10 rate is. And the 10 rate is low, and people are discriminating what they send in versus what they don't send in. If the 10 rate is 20%, that doesn't mean 20% chance of yours having a PSA 10 Gem Mint candidate. That means of all the people that cracked theirs, some amount didn't send every card in. They might have only sent half in, and then they got 20% 10s. That's dark. That means there's a 10% rate of getting a 10 from a sealed one. We'll never know what percent gets sent in. So, but yeah, that's a consideration to have. We got another silver and gold bug here. Did you happen to lose all your silver and gold in a tragic boating accident? That used to be a meme years ago. So before the UPCCC, Ultimate Pokemon Card Collectors Club, or whatever they called it, I was on E4 before it was E4. I was on it when it was UPCCC. Before I was on UPCCC, I was on Kitco. I was pretty deep into the silver forums. I was pretty deep into the Kitco silver forums. Like 15 years ago, it would have been. It would have been mid-college, I want to say I got onto them. And then I was on them for a couple years into my job. Through the silver boom. It was wild. We're booming. 130 people watching. 45 minutes behind chat. I'm only 18 minutes behind chat. I'm catching up. Let's see. Nice to see you, Jay Avila. Mysterious Pearl price trajectory has been very dark. That might be one that I hold, honestly. I don't know. Or maybe I buy a couple more. I don't know. We'll see. Please make a CGC to PSA video. Always interesting to see the results. Back-to-back specialty sets. That's tagalongs. Peanut butter chocolate Girl Scout cookies. It's like an Oreo, not an Oreo. It's like a Reese's-ish cookie. But it's got like wafer in it though too. It's almost like a Kit Kat, Reese's-ish. Reese's-ish. Definitely try some of those if you haven't. Did I miss the conversation on SIR Pika? I was about to buy one, but wife stopped me when I said they've been fluctuating a lot. I just don't know. I would not buy it for future price appreciation at current prices, but I also would have said that when it was $400. I think it's crazy that it was $400. I think it's crazier that it's $600, $700, but it could be $1,000 next week. I have no clue. PK has pulled like 4 of them on Fanatics. It's been wild. He has not opened 4,000 packs. I don't know how many packs he's opened, but he's definitely not opened 4,000. He's definitely not opened like how many he should have had to per the 1 out of 1,000 pull rate. But if you want a chance, little bit of self-promotion, the Fanatics link is still pinned. It's pinned in chat. Let me highlight it. So the Fanatics thing is pinned in chat. If you click that link and you're new to Fanatics, go there, use code CATCHEM20 first, and then use your $25 credit after you put in a payment method, after you put in your address. $45 will get you a 9-pack lot of Surging Sparks for free. Well, no, for $5 shipping. Sorry, it's not free. You have to pay $5 shipping. For $5, you can get PK to open you, or Ponga tomorrow night to open you, 9 packs of Surging Sparks. You might be able to get an SIR Pikachu for $5. I almost said for free again, for $5. So I think that's a reasonable thing for everyone to do. If you have a Fanatics account already, you cannot get the money. If you've bought, like I'm wearing a Fanatics shirt right now. Fanatics owns the license to make MLB, NHL, NBA, all the different leagues merch. So if you created a Fanatics accounts to buy the best hockey team's merch, the New York Rangers, you would not qualify for the $25 sign-up credit through my affiliate link. You would, though, since you've not been on Fanatics Live yet, you would still qualify for the $20 Catch 'em 20. So you qualify for the Catch 'em 20 regardless. You only qualify for the 25 through the link if you have not been on the Fanatics ecosystem at all. If you had a PWCC account and it transitioned into a Fanatics account, I've heard mixed things. Some people have gotten it, some people haven't gotten it because it technically is a Fanatics account. So you shouldn't qualify, but some people have actually. But you might be able to get a $5 SIR Pikachu. Like, it feels like a reasonable gamble. Opening 9 packs on a 1 in 1,000 pull rate should mean you have approximately a 1 in 110 chance of pulling it. So if all 130 people in chat went over and spent $5 to have 9 packs opened by PK, one person would be expected to pull the Pikachu IR. No guarantees, obviously, but you'd only have to pay $5 to try. So yeah, a little bit of self-promo, but it's also promoting you. It's promoting you. It's promoting your wallet. It's promoting your welfare in the hobby. $5 to take a shot at a $3,000 PSA 10. I don't think that price will hold, but we'll see. Let's see. Leaf Green Goblin says, please don't, Jay. I haven't gotten a single call, email regarding any restocks, reprints from Distro. I don't think any is coming. If anything, I think they will focus on retail products for the holiday. Some have come through, though. PokeNE was just talking about how he got an email and he tried getting 50 cases of a set, and then they told him he can only get 10 or 20. Like, just today on his stream with Nostalgianomics, he talked about that. And I didn't get that email. I don't have the same distributors, but like presumably all the distributors are getting some amount of it. I just know. I know it happens. I know people who have the same 2 distributors I have, and they get access to some things that I don't get access to. That's just the way that it works. It is what it is. Let's see. I don't own any paper, silver, or gold. All the silver, gold that I own is physical. I don't own very much, though. Like, going back to this camera, so pallet 1 and pallet 2, pallet 1's 60 grand right now, maybe up slightly. Pallet 2's about 30 grand. That's nearly 6 figures in Pokemon right there. That is split 50-50 ownership with my dad, though. So 45K of that 90K is mine. The S&P 500, I own... With the market going the way that it's going, I might be owning 7 figures of S&P 500 before too long, like before very long at all. Bitcoin, I own low 6 figures. Gold and silver, I don't think I even own 5 figures. I definitely own 4 figures of both, but like I don't think I own 5 figures of either. I might not own 5 figures of silver and gold combined, but it's all physical. It's all physical. Japanese 151 reprint just landed. I gotta hit up all my plugs. I gotta hit up _retrospecs on IG. Oh, this is a question for Celestial. Sassy Auto on eBay. He's my business partner. We both order separately through the same distribution, but I have it shipped to his warehouse as he lets me store stuff there. Saves us money on freight doing this. Interesting. Sassy does stuff at a high level, obviously, by looking at his eBay. I've bought from Sassy a couple times. Currently 30 minutes behind, listening at 2x. How do you think the 2025 Zelle, Venmo, PayPal limit of 600 for reporting to IRS will affect selling, platform, consignment, vending? I think I'm bullish on consignments because it doesn't generate any 1099s. Like, the no-brainer, as James says, as ZNG Emporium says, do the math. You can send to me any slabs over 120. I will net more to you than you would get selling through Fanatics yourself. It's a no-brainer. Do the math. Like, if you're going to sell on Fanatics anyways, send them to me. You're going to net more money. You're going to get paid out through whatever means you want. And there's going to be no government documentation, whatever that means. Same thing with James. If you want to sell on eBay, anything above, under 100, I have a surcharge. He has a surcharge. But anything above 1,000, especially for that, anything above 480 for me, especially, you're netting out 93.33%. So my fee is only 6.667% on 480 plus. James, you have to sell all the way up to 1,000. So from 480 to 1,000, I forget what James is charging. I think he's charging 12%. I'm only charging 10% up to from 120 to 480, and I'm only charging 6.67%. from 480 up to 2400. So I think James starts his 5% fee at 3000. I started at 2400. And he starts his 7% fee at 1000, whereas I start my 6.67% fee at 480. So I have a little bit better fees, but to be fair, eBay is a bigger platform, and I think certain things do better at eBay, but I also think certain things do better at Fanatics. So do the math. You don't do the work, you don't get the government documents, and you get a payout wherever you want to be paid out. I think that's I'm bullish on that stuff growing in the future. That's my take on that. That's why I'm doing that, because I'm bullish on its future. I'm getting really close to being fully caught up. I'm 12 minutes behind right now. 120 people in here, but chat has slowed down. I only see a couple more questions. So the backlog is low. If people have questions for me, feel free to leave them in chat. I am coming up on 2 hours. I will probably go longer than that, but I might also wrap up at 11:30 if there's not any more questions and if I fully get caught up. Celestial says, Sassy does eBay, Celestial does TCG Player, and most social media platforms. That way we don't directly compete against each other. Interesting. Promos for the win. Boom. Yeah, that gift that James is always dropping. I was pretty deep into the silver forums. It was wild. I wasn't saying the silver forums were wild, and sadly, I never made it to a silver convention. I never met all the fellow silver collectors. I want to say I had over 5,000 posts on Kitco before I had over 5,000 posts on E4. And now you go into Discord, 5,000 posts is nothing. 5,000 posts is like rookie numbers relative to what some people have in Discord, some people being myself included. But yeah, I was not saying the silver forums were wild, though sometimes they were a little bit wild. All the same conversations of vintage versus modern, NGC versus PCGS, all the same conversations in a different vein in Steins. All the same conversations that happen in Pokemon happen in Steins, I promise you. It's crazy. But what I meant was wild. The silver market was wild in 2011. Look at a silver chart. Let me pull up a silver 25-year chart just to show the context of what the boom bubble was in 2011, and I was there. So let me see, two screen. Let me pull up Chrome with the silver price. Sorry, I have way too many tabs open. Okay, I was gonna say, I think that'll do it. So here is the silver price over the past 25 years. I probably started in silver. I got some from my grandpa. He gave me some. I was filling out like wheat penny binders. I was filling out mercury diamond binders. He gave me his little collection of coins. Didn't like pass away or anything. He's still around. But he just gave me like a little box of coins he had because he knew I was collecting them. Probably in like the mid 2000 era. So when silver was like $7-10 an ounce, somewhere in there, I probably got like a bit of silver, not any substantial amount, but I was buying and selling. I started like buying and selling in college. So I started buying and selling maybe in here. So like there was a pop in 2008 to 21 an ounce, and then it crashed 50% to 936 an ounce. I want to say when I started, I was buying it in the 10 to 20 vicinity, and then it just rocketed to 50. Everything I had just 2 to 5x, not as crazy as the 2020 Pokemon boom. And then I was there all the way throughout. Like, I mean, I still hold some amount of silver. So like it went down from the peak. It went down 60%, 70%. And then it's doubled back again since. Still not where it was. But yeah, silver was a wild ride for a little while there. Let me go back here. Now I need to, here we go. I have all my chat tabs back. Let's see. I'm still heavy in the Kitco and silver forum. I also work in the precious metal industry and depository. Interesting. I kick myself. So I went to 2019 Worlds in Washington, D.C. That is where I bought this card that I'm likely going to be auctioning soon on Fanatics Collect. But I tried touring the mint. I want to tour the mint very badly. They have free tours, but the free tours like sell out. They fill in. So you need to be there at a certain time. We missed it. I was directing us and I was looking at the Google Maps and we walked the wrong way for like a minute or two down the wrong street. And we diverted back and they told us we missed it by like 10 minutes. So I don't think we would have made it anyways. But shout out old school Pokemon. If he's listening to this now, if he's listening to this later, he's probably still mad at me for getting us lost for a couple minutes and then being 10 minutes late to getting a free tour of the Mint in DC. I really want to do that. There's one in San Francisco. There used to be one in Denver. I don't know if that one's still there. San Francisco. There used to be, or I think there still is a West Point Mint for more of the collecting type things. But I really want to tour a Mint at some point. It would be really cool. Next time I'm in the area of one of them, I'm gonna have to try to make that happen. But yeah, JM Bullion, Provident Metals, Kitco. I used to buy a lot through those sites. One thing actually, one little funny anecdote to share. I used to work with some hardcore stackers. I found a very good niche at my former job. I was literally just the middleman for people who were afraid of the government. Kind of a funny business model. And I could probably revive that business if I wanted to at any time, because I knew people who were very like, everything is being watched all the time, as we have a supercomputer with camera and microphone access in our pockets at all times. But they would not buy online. They did not want to buy with a credit card. They didn't want the future government confiscation of all gold and silver. They didn't want it to be on the books that they had it. They swore me to secrecy that I would only sell to them for cash and I would not document any of it anywhere and this and that and the other thing. It's like, I still have to file my taxes and stuff. And like, I have to document it as a sale somewhere, but I'm not going to put your name. I'm not going to put your address, your social security number or anything. I don't have that. But it was funny. I used to just literally buy. I would have people that would come to me and say, I want 10 grand of this off JM Bullion, of this off Kitco. And I would make a percentage to literally buy and sell to them for cash, because they were the kind of people that were like stackers, preppers, hoarders. Like they would try to pay me in like freeze dried food. And I'm like, no, I'm good on that. But I'll take some of those $100 bills you got in their doomsday bunkers, heavy on the Second Amendment, all that stuff. I made a good bit of money off all that stuff from like 2009 to 2013 probably is when that was really pumping. That was a funny, yeah, that was a really funny business model for like probably a 4 or 5 year period. And like relative to the numbers I'm moving now in Pokemon, it was nothing. But to me at the time, when I was a starting engineer, starting at a little over 50 grand a year, and I was on the side grossing like, let me see if I can pull it up. I made a video showing my 10-year history of selling on eBay. Not that it was my 10 years of selling Pokemon on eBay. Let me see if I can find it very quickly, because I think that would be interesting to show. I forget which was the first year that I did 100K on eBay, but it was definitely done with silver. But I did a lot of silver off eBay as well. I think I called it like 10 years. 10 years something. Leveling up 10 years of Pokemon sales. Let me see if I can find the chart right now. There we go. So my first year, so 2013, I did 53 grand in gross sales. I didn't go back that far, so I only did 10 years. It would have been like 2011, and I was only showing my eBay numbers here. But I definitely did. I guess my first year doing 100K on eBay was 2015, 96,000, so close to 100K. 2016 would have been the first year doing 100K with that boom. And then, but yeah, I did a lot of just literally as low margin as you could think. Like I was maybe making a 2% margin. But you mean to tell me if you click a couple buttons and you get the credit card rewards as well, if you can make 2% on credit card and 2% just cash, all of it coming cash, you spend 10 grand, you take the shipment, you take it out of its box, you hand it to a guy at work, and you make $400. Like at the time I was making, they weren't buying every week. Maybe they do a couple of those a year. So I was maybe only making 4 or 5 grand net a year at this time. But it was like, it was juicy. It was juicy. the highest, some of the highest hourly rate that I've made in my life, just buying silver for people that were afraid to have their stuff tied online to all those records. Really, really funny. Oh man. Taking all the kids' cards and scamming grandmas out of their silver. Classic Dan. 123 watching. Only 1/8. Only 1/8 of what Alex and Brian were able to pull earlier. Uh-oh. Pokey is not in his own chat, so maybe he's getting a little bit if someone were to have won, maybe the business model would have exploded. A lot of those people I used to deal with had very strong political opinions. I am someone who is quite apolitical. I pay attention to it. I do vote, but I don't get like very like the way that I am, the tribalism for my sports teams, the Jets, the Mets, the Rangers. I am very much line in the sand. If you're a Patriots fan, if you like the wrong team, if you're a Devils fan, I don't like you on game day especially, but like it's not actually that deep. It's not that serious. But I know a lot of people that are very tribalistic on both sides about politics, and disproportionately, all the people that I sold to were definitely more of the red coloration of the tribalism side. And even though red or blue, the money was green. Like I am very apolitical and I'm very like pro-capitalistic, all that stuff, even in that age. So whatever color they were politically, their money was just as green. So I was riding the wave. Right now, I'm riding the wave of the Pokemon boom. I'm live streaming to 120 people. Back in 2010, when do I still have it up? I think I closed it. I was gonna show maybe I still have it up. Back when this was a thing, I was riding this wave. Look at this big wave. I was riding that wave. So 10 years from now, maybe it'll still be Pokemon. Maybe it'll be something else. But I am definitely hearing about Brian's background too while he's here in chat. He like used to breed cockroaches or something to feed reptiles. He used to hearing about people's backstories, hearing about all the things they dabbled in. Like part of why I share my anecdotes 15 years ago about the silver boom, 10, 15 years ago. I love when I hear about other people. Like I want to hear what you went through to get to where you are. I think those stories are awesome and kind of hilarious at times. I'm also very non-political, but I can tell you my extended family has been prepping at a wild degree. That's the greatest saying I've ever heard. Did I coin that? I don't know if I coined that. I don't think I've heard that anytime soon out of anybody. Let me try to Google it really quickly. Whether you're red or you're blue politically, your money's just as green. I feel like that's a good Danism. I think it's been a while since we've gotten a good Danism, but I think that's a solid one. But yeah, I guess I think there is a Green Party. I am not a part of the Green Party politically, but I am a part of the Green Party capitalistically. Absolutely. So Pokey, oh yeah, ASMR, I do remember you mentioning that. ASMR, cockroaches, reptile tours, clothing, all that stuff. Let me scroll back up, make sure I didn't miss any. I did miss a couple questions. So I'm gonna revisit the questions. I'll try to catch up. I did catch up, and then I asked for questions, and then more came. But oh, rappers say it. Make a shirt of that. It's been since mullet presentations, my mullet presentations, business in the front, party in the back. I feel like that's the thing. I feel like it has to have been said. Like I didn't think I actually coined it, but I don't know who to attribute that to. Like I feel like that's definitely been said, but I have no idea who said it. I'm not trying. Said by the guy who tries to claim like Dan stole that from me. That's my play. I made the Celebrations Charizard. Dan stole it from me. Said by the guy who claims everything is stolen by everyone. I was not trying to claim that. I actually said something along the lines of like, I feel like that was probably said before, but I can't think of who it would be attributed to. I'm not sure. I Googled it really quickly. I didn't see anything pop up. Given that we just went by an election, I just see a million elections. Swing states, red states, blue states, Wikipedia. Like, it's just swarmed by election stuff. I can't find who to attribute that to. But anyways, let's see. I'm going to go back. Price goes up because price goes up. Absolutely. Silver convention or Stein convention. I've been to several local Stein conventions. There are national ones. So believe it or not, in my buddy group, I still go. I need to RSVP. I actually saw it in the email the other day. I need to RSVP to the annual Stein Christmas party. So we do a beer themed gift to pass to everyone. I usually don't partake in that. I don't think I will again this year. But a bunch of Stein people get together at one of their houses. We drink beer, we eat food, we have a good time. The same way late night at conventions, we talk a little bit of shop, we talk about life, we talk about whatever. The conventions are fun. The Stein conventions are fun, hanging out with my friends. The average age of my friends is a little bit higher in Steins than it is in Pokemon. But I have a great time. If I went to a coin convention, if I went to a numismatic or a bullion type convention, the average age would probably be a fair bit higher than in Pokemon. But like, I have a lot of good friends that Schultz and Dooley make me think of and remind me of. And I'm going to see some. We usually have a bowling tournament, an annual bowling tournament. I have the trophy still. I think the last one I went to was from like a couple of years ago. I don't know that they've done that in a couple of years. But anyways, I'm looking forward to that. The Stein conventions are fun, catching up with all my friends. There are national Stein conventions. Nothing like Collecticon, I'm sure. But I think they're relatively big. I think it might be hundreds of vendors. I don't know how many. BCCA, the Beer Can Collectors of America. I've never been to one though. A lot of my buddies, a handful of my buddies from the thing, go to the big annual. I think they're a couple times a year. The big Stein conventions, the big beer can collecting conventions. But I've never been. I've never flown to a convention for that. But if one was drivable, I might go. If you don't flex, you have no credibility. If you flex, you're a Chad. What to do? Yeah, I think like the way Brian starts his videos, he talks about being a 7-figure reseller out of the basement in his home in Nebraska or whatever. Hokieni. Some people get salty about that. Some people get really weird. Some people get like, oh, well, you sell this amount, but like, what does that mean? And it's like, damned if you do, damned if you don't. I give all the transparency that I feel comfortable giving, which is quite a bit. If you've listened closely to tonight, I've given nearly the most transparency I've ever given towards my net worth and what I hold in different things. And I think it builds legitimacy. Some people will take that negatively. So people will take it negatively 2 ways, maybe even more than 2 ways. Some people will be jealous about it and be mad. Like, oh, Dan was born with a silver spoon in his mouth. Dan was born on third base, having no idea what my actual background is. But if they followed along long enough, I've said what my whole background is. I've said my first car was bought for me. I've said that part of my college was paid for me. I've said like exactly what I got and exactly what I didn't get. I don't have a trust fund. My parents aren't like rich. I got exactly what I got, no more, no less. I'm not ashamed. I'm not embarrassed. Like, I will just tell you everything. This is a live Q&A. Ask me almost anything. Ask me anything relevant to Pokemon, and then ask me almost anything relative to finance, relative to my personal life, like not deep into my personal life, not about like my family or thing, but ask me almost anything and I will answer. I value transparency in people that I follow. So I try to put out there what I want to get back. Like, so yeah, damned if you do, damned if you don't. But I say, damn the people who like get butthurt about it. Either they get jealous and weird about it, like, oh, that person, they get weird about it for that reason. Or they could take it negatively and like, oh man, I need to catch up. Let me try to like overextend to shortcut what this person has built over this amount of time. And those are both, like, I hope nobody takes any of these things that way. I put it out with a certain intent to educate, to entertain, to inform, all those things. If people do negative things with that, I can't help that. I try to put information out in a positive way. If someone wants to twist that, if someone wants to take that negatively, because I'm not putting it out in a flexing way. Like, talk about flexing. And Rudy's not flexing. Brian's not flexing. There are 2 people that immediately come to mind that I follow on YouTube that do things at a higher level than me. Like my orders that I do of sealed, my pallets of sealed that I have are nothing compared to what Brian gets through in sealed on a daily, weekly basis, monthly basis. My sealed is, and his, so mine is down here, his is here. Rudy's is through the ceiling. Rudy's is a whole different level. And then there are people that are as big or nearly as big as Rudy that aren't known anywhere. Like, I know This is not a flex because there are so many people. There's people in this chat doing it bigger than I am, and I know that. So like some people that will take it as a flex that are earlier on their journey, or their journey is just different, and they'll never get to where I am in this because they're not trying to, and that's fine. Like you don't have to. So don't like people will, and I hate it. I hate it about social media that some people will take it that way. But I can be perfectly fine sleeping at night, all that stuff, because I know the way that I intend it to go out. And some people will take offense, even when it's not given. I can't help those people. And I guess I'm sorry to those people. I wish they wouldn't take offense. I wish they just turn it off and stop following if they are taking things in a negative way from what I'm putting out there. But I like to think that I'm putting it out in a positive way. And I know some amount of people are taking a very positive thing out of my channel. So I'm continuing to do it. Do we expect to see Dogecoin going up? Saw today that Elon was named to be in charge of the Department of Government Efficiency. Yes. Doge is one of those proofs. Like, what's the saying? Retro, I did not make this saying either. The market can stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent. Dogecoin epitomizes that saying. If you shorted Dogecoin at any point in the past few years, you probably would have been fundamentally right to do so. That is a shitcoin, meant in the most derogatory manner possible. That is a shitcoin. It has no fundamentals. The amount that is out in circulation, the amount that is being added to circulation every day is obscene. The lack of fundamentals is hysterical. Yet Dogecoin has a $60 billion market cap. What a world we live in. That a shitcoin meme turns into a $60 billion valuation. Dogecoin has made millionaires. There are people that put in tens of thousands of dollars and turned it into millions. They made more than most people will make in their entire lives in a couple of years holding a meme coin of a Shiba Inu dog. Like that is the world that we live in. So don't take too many things too seriously when you know that we live in that world. But no, I am not investing in Dogecoin. I am not speculating in Dogecoin. I've never owned any Dogecoin, and I'm proud to say that. I do not intend to speculate or invest in it ever. It's a little bit scary, but it's also a little bit like, what a world we live in. I don't know what more to say than that. What a world we live in. Missed your plan in this market, Dan. I have about 1K freed up from a recent sale. Need to reinvest in pokies. I'm split between buying some gradable singles, buying a collection, or waiting a bit. Yeah, I like buying at 80%. I like buying gradable singles at 80%. Sell the misses and break even, because platform fees and shipping, you can kind of break even. You can get back out of them. Break even if you're buying at 80%, 75, 80% generally. Buying a collection though, buying a collection at 80%, and then you pull out some of the alt arts that are gradable and you hit tens and like you can really multiply your money. So I think $1,000, I think you're better off not buying a case of Surging Sparks. You're better off buying something if you have the time to. Not everyone has the time to, but if you have the time to, actively playing with that money, working towards growing it through actual buying, grading, reselling. I think Paradox Rift is an interesting set. It's not my favorite. It's not my least favorite of the era, but yeah, still going though. Who Jay Avila kind of like Paradox, but I'm not smart enough to know how to pick sets. I buy a little bit of everything and I stash away a little bit of everything. Look at my Poke Palette videos if you want to know exactly what I have stashed away for the long term. No way you passed up on freeze-dried meat. Do you have any big financial goals, a certain number net worth you are working towards? So I made a video. Several months ago. Reseller annual household spending or something. My household spends approximately $60,000 a year, approximately $5,000 a month. Financial independence, if people are familiar with that movement, the Bill Bengen study back in the early 90s, the Trinity study, the 4% rule largely guides what most people do. Some people think 3%, some people think 5%. 4% rule is what has been like widely agreed upon as the number. So what that means is if you have a portfolio of a certain size, theoretically back tested across the past 100 years of the S&P 500, you can take out 4% per year over a 30-year retirement and be safe. My retirement, my semi-retirement might be closer to 50 years. If I semi-retired at 40 and I live till 90, I might have 50 years that I have to weather. So when you go longer on the time scale, you need to go lower. You need to have like, you might only be able to take out 3%. So if I go abiding by the 3% rule at a 60%, at a $60,000, $60,000 divided by 0.03, I would need $2 million. I would need $2 million in a combination between retirement accounts and brokerage accounts. I would need to have $2 million to safely take out $60,000 a year, adjusted for inflation, for a 50-year period, and have it not exhaust, have it not fail, run out of money. So one of my goals is to become financially independent, to get to where my, I'm going to say it again, I'm going to say the word, he's going to cross that off on your bingo card. I want to get to a point where my financial traditional investing buckets, not just my net worth. I don't want to talk about my real estate. I don't want to talk about my Pokemon and my Bitcoin. I want to talk about my productive assets in the S&P 500 and similar, VTSAX, VU, all those things. I want that to be $2 million. That is like a big financial goal. That will be like full financial independence. There's something called Coast Fire, Lean Fire. There's all these different things that I've been crossing certain waypoints, certain checkpoints, if you want to say. But the ultimate one is true financial independence, which, depending on your risk, if you want to go 4% rule, $1.5 million. If you want to go 3% rule for a 50-year retirement, $2 million. So that's my biggest short to medium term financial goal. Maybe really long-term financial goal if the stock market tanks, but like the way things are going, I'm approaching that quicker than I would have expected. But I'm trying to do it mostly in tax advantage accounts right now. So I'm limiting how much I put into that. Dan Back Alley Gold Dealer was not on my bingo list, and yet I'm not surprised in the least. Hey, ride the wave while it's there. Dan was the big brother of the underground silver space. I moved multi six figures in silver and gold in a few year span. Just trying to outpace Dan's sales trajectory so I can buy red LEDs one day too. Oh man. Precious metals and cardboard's where it's at. Let's see. Buckets 2024. Classic upstate New York for sure. Upstate New York, where I live, is a lot more like the South, politically and just in a lot of ways, lifestyle-wise. Where I live, the county I live in New York, is a lot more like the South than New York State. Like when you hear New York, you think New York City. I'm 4.5 hours from the city. Red or blue, their money is green. Yes. I'm going to Google that again to see if I can find the... I want to find the song. I can't find the song coming up. Drake has a song called Blue, Green, Red. Does that have anything to do with politics? I have no idea what Blue, Green, Red is. It looks like it's a recent song. Anyways, I do not listen to Drake, and I definitely did not get it from a rap song personally, but I feel like I did hear it somewhere, something along those lines. How has live streaming affected my carry rate? I don't know what you mean by that. Risk-free interest rate that would be earned by investing currency in a theoretically safe investment and vehicle such as a money market. Oh, like my risk-free rate, my opportunity cost. My opportunity, like that's one thing that I'm big on disclaiming, is if you're investing in Pokemon, if you're investing in crypto, if you're investing in the stock market even, you need to consider your opportunity cost. My opportunity cost is quite low. I guess right now my biggest opportunity cost is, given how much I bought in the past week, I was running at risk of not having enough cash flow to buy all the collections that hit my inbox. Just in this video tonight, I talked earlier about buying your collection, about like I'm probably going to get 5 to 10 DMs tomorrow. DMs, emails, about people trying to reach out and sell stuff. Maybe consigning stuff too. But in the past week, since I've been talking about it so much, I had like 50K worth of stuff come to me. And I had enough to buy it all, but it was like tighter than I want it to be. I have a certain like liquidity goal that I have for my bank account. I like to have 50 to 100 grand in my bank account at all times. Well, if I have 50 grand even, and then in 1 week I spend 50 grand, I don't have that much anymore, right? So I need to up my liquidity requirements. now that I have 2 live streamers who are very, very hungry individuals who need a lot of constant inventory refreshes. So I'm working on like finding my new equilibrium with sourcing and all that. Here comes the gaslight. Retro gaslights me with the word gaslight. Red fish, blue fish. Dan must have heard it bumping some rap on the mower. No, on the mower, I'm always bumping some long form content. If Paris Hilton can trademark "That's hot," I'm trademarking that. I'll give you a year. Oh man, yeah. If flexing offends you, I don't want your money. I'm fine without trigger cash. Yeah, because again, it goes back to damned if you do, damned if you don't. And I've been. Retro thinks I'm firing shots at him. I'm not actually firing shots at him. I've been firing shots, not cryptically or anything. I'm not putting names in it because I genuinely don't know the names. Like I sometimes I will go into Pokemon investing YouTube on an incognito browser. It sucks because I have to listen to ads. I don't want to ruin my algorithm with it. But I will listen to half an hour. I will just take it in small doses. Otherwise, I couldn't handle it. But I will listen to the PokeTube investing space, and I will hear from people that got back in the past year talking about how these boxes are guaranteed to go to $300, guaranteed to go to $500. And it's like, they might go to those numbers, but you haven't been around and you don't know, and you don't have any of that product. It's like, it's all talk. It's no walk. You're farming ad revenue. You're farming affiliate clicks. Like, you're farming all that stuff, and you're not doing any of it. Like, I will tell you exactly where my money is. My money and my mouth are very aligned because I tell you exactly what I'm doing as I do it, before I do it, after I do it. I cover it from every angle, and I value others who do that too. And I think the most valuable information on what to do with Surging Sparks is to see what other people are doing with it. See what people who actually have it are doing with it. So yeah, I put that out there, and some people don't like that, which is fine. But I've been going hard at the Pokemon investing cosplayers, and I like, even if I remembered the names of the PokeTubers that I'm talking about, I couldn't tell you exactly, because the thing is, they don't show it. They don't show what they have. There are some people who might show nothing and actually have 50 grand worth. Like they might have 50% of their net worth in Pokemon. I genuinely don't know. I would rather follow channels where people talk the talk and walk the walk and show it all. So those are the channels that I follow more disproportionately. I follow the people who are actually here conducting business, flipping, investing to some extent, speculating more long-term on all this stuff, as I am. I want to hear from people who are interacting mostly similar to me. That said, though, I do intentionally step outside of the bubble, not financial bubble, but like the space bubble that I'm in. I do follow a lot of the same channels. There are risks of echo chambers forming and this and that. So I do watch Nostalgianomics. I do watch Pokey. I also watch Reserved Investments. I think a lot of his stuff about Pokemon is a little bit overly bearish maybe in certain respects, but like, I think some of his longer term thoughts and some of his background is actually useful and interesting. I like to hear from the Rudys and the Seans. I like to hear from people on both sides. And same thing, I'm very apolitical, but if I do engage in like mainstream media, which I do very infrequently, I do a little bit of CNN. I do a little bit of Fox News. Like I do a little bit of Reddit. But if I spend, especially around the election, if I spend my time only on Fox News or my time only on Reddit around an election or around some big political event, it drives me nuts. It's like, it's just mind-numbing. It's crazy. The echo chambers that get built, echo chambers are very dangerous stuff. So I try to not solely exist in one bubble. I try to take in stuff otherwise, in the same space, but like from the other side. Let's see. Yeah, if people can't look at you and be happy and share in your success, then who cares what their opinions are, for sure. Dan, ask me anything about Pokemon or finance. Talks about meat and lawnmowers instead. I very infrequently am the one to bring up cookies or... How did cookies come up earlier? Did I bring that up? Maybe I did. But But I usually am not the one to bring up meat. I'm usually not the one to bring up lawnmowers, but it's the channel meme. We always end up there. Everything always ends with lawnmowers and meat. um, I have some content planned riding my lawnmower. I need to have a tomahawk steak that I smoked on my Pit Boss smoker and then seared on my Weber grill, and then I'm just riding around on my lawnmower taking a big bite out of a tomahawk steak. That needs to happen. There are some videos of me riding my lawnmower. There are a lot of pictures of me riding my lawnmower that my wife has taken. Some without my knowledge, some with my knowledge, sporting my flip-flops. Actually, I don't think they're flip-flops because they're not like the toe thong ones. They're very, very fashionable Amazon sandals that I got for $10 that I'm always wearing around the house mowing the lawn and stuff. But I don't do Litecoin really. I think at one point I did own 10 or 20 Litecoin when they were a couple, like, I don't even know what Litecoin is now. I want to say it was a couple $100 at one point. Litecoin is 78 right now. I think I sold most. What did they peak at? So Litecoin peaked at 250. I want to say I sold some around like 200 that I had bought at quite a bit less than that. I don't think I own any Litecoin anymore. I think I fully sold out of everything aside from Bitcoin and Ethereum. I think I only have Bitcoin and Ethereum on here now, and then a minimal amount on Coinbase. The meta zoo of altcoins. Dan using bad words must be a top signal. Just that's hilarious. Just do it. Hey guys, that's another Danism. I made that one up too. Oh man, that's actually hilarious. Dan, name 5 cards from Paradox Rift. I am not the guy for that. I do not want to be the live streamer. I do not want to be the pack ripper. Isn't Paradox Rift the one with Roaring Moon? So let me just say Roaring Moon times 5, because there's probably an IR, an SIR. There's probably like 5 variants of Roaring Moon. So I'm gonna name 1 card, but also name 5 cards. But I do not know. I'm not your guy for what's the hit. I know the hits better in the XY era than I do in the Sun and Moon or Sword and Shield or Scarlet and Violet era, because I was a collector during XY era. When I got back in Phantom Forces, I ripped Phantom Force by the case to pull that Silver Dialga, to pull that Mega Gengar, to pull that secret Mega Manetric. I ripped not Fusion Strike. I ripped why am I thinking Fusion Strike? I ripped Furious Fist until I pulled How Dark. Like the chase was like the Mega Lucario. Number 1 Mega Charizard was 108. I want to say Mega Lucario was like was Mega Lucario 113 out of 111? I think I know the set number. Like I want to say Dialga was 119 out of 117. I'm gonna test myself a little bit here in the XY era. I'm doing like a PK. I'm not naming every set, but Lucario is indeed 113 out of 111. I want to say Dialga is 119 out of 117, or maybe 119 out of 116. Dialga. Silver Dialga. Oh, it's 122 out of 119, so I was off on that one. Then you have Primal Clash. You've got the Groudon and Kyogre, the Primal Kyogre and Groudon. Rayquaza, the Shaman, was big for a long time, but you've got the Latios and Latias cards. You've got the, I think Primal Clash had a Dive Ball Gold. I want to say Roaring Scars had a, Phantom Forces had a Versus Seeker. I don't know if it had that gold, but it had that trainer in the card. Plus it had Max Elixir. No, Max Elixir was Breakpoint, I think. Max Elixir was Breakpoint. Primal Clash did, or Phantom Forces did have another couple playable trainers though. It had Versus Seeker, and it had another 1 or 2. I can't remember what they were though. But anyways, Breakpoint, you had your Gyarados and your Alakazam, and Breakthrough, you had your Mega Mewtwo X, Mega Mewtwo Y. And then you had Steam Siege, you had the Volcanion, and you had the Gardevoirs, and you had evolutions with the Charizard, and I think I got all the sets in there. But I genuinely know XY still. Like, even having been full-time throughout part of Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet, I don't build the sets anymore. I was building complete binder sets of all the XY era sets. I know a lot of the Diamond and Pearl and Heart Gold Soul Silver sets better probably better than like some of the Scarlet Violet sets. As crazy as that is, like I only pick and choose certain sets to go hard at. As far like I actually have a bunch on my desk. I bought a bunch of cards, but I don't even know the set symbols. Actually, you don't even have. Yeah, set symbols. That's actually hilarious. I was gonna say I don't even know the set symbols. Set symbols are a thing of the past. I miss set symbols. Back in my day, you used to have. Now you just have a three-letter abbreviation. I don't know if I still could, but I used to be able to identify every set by its symbol. Now it's just you have PAF, MEU, TEF. Like, yeah, I'm not feeling. I'm old man yelling at the clouds. I prefer XY era and back. That's when I was collector boy. Can we get the boom gif in the thumbnail, please? Should I crack out CGC Blue Label 9.5 or resubmit to CGC for the EZ10? You pay $5 and you get the Gem Mint 10 upgrade for like guaranteed. So a 9.5 Gem Mint becomes a 10 Gem Mint. There might be something to be said. I know some people have cracked out 9.5s and gotten pristines. There might be something to be said to crack them out and grade them with PSA to get a PSA Gem Mint 10 or to try to get a pristine at CGC. But it's also like guaranteed. Bird in the hand, guaranteed 10 for like $5 to get the 9.5 Gem Mint turned to 10 Gem Mint. Depending on, I would look at the card. I would look at the card and I would decide if it's worth trying for a PSA 10 or a CGC pristine. I do listen to a lot of finance content. The Money Guy with his financial order of operations. I listen to a little bit of like Dave Ramsey. I listen to a tiny bit of Graham Stephan still. I used to listen to more of him. But I used to listen to Andre Jake. I don't listen to him at all. I listen to the Iced Coffee podcast, Iced Coffee Hour, I believe it's called. Graham Stephan's podcast with Jack. That's a pretty good one. But I do listen to a fair bit of finance content all over the place, though. There's none that I follow as devotedly as I follow some Pokemon content creators. L-Dub says, I'm going to follow in your footsteps and request Pokemon residence in my dad's basement. How do I convince him to go palette wild to justify me taking over his basement with Pokemon? Teach me. My dad is someone who... He's not political at all either. I was not born into a political household. I did not become political. But he is averse to the stock market. As much as I am all about the buckets, holy buckets. That's another Danism, right? A Danny Phantom-ism. But holy buckets. My dad is not hardly invested into the S&P 500. He is hardly invested into like tax advantage accounts to the extent that I am. He is heavily invested into real estate. He is fairly heavily invested into silver, despite some of my objections and trying to push him into more traditional stuff. But he owns a lot of real estate. He owns a fair bit of silver. He has an uncomfortable amount of maybe green. He should have less of that. He should have that in more productive things. But I diverted some of his USD into pallets of Pokemon. He was primed for it, and he went in on it. It was an easy transition, but pending your father's situation, it might or might not be reasonable for him to go into it. So I don't know. I knew what my strategy was, and it was very easy. It did not require much convincing at all. It was like a mutual decision that happened in conversation. By no means was it just like, hey dad, please bail me out, buy a bunch of Pokemon for me. It was a mutual agreed conversation. Deep dive video on how to make money for anyone that's never sold a single Pokemon card or product ever. Yeah, I definitely have a couple in my planned content backlog. Like I keep a Google Drive sheet of upcoming video topics, and one of them is like a back to basics thing, just like how do you sell your first card on eBay. I want to make more of those. I don't think those are worthwhile to do as my standalone Monday video. Maybe what I'll do is, and to be fair, like I probably won't do this anytime super soon. Maybe I will slide in a couple as like a standalone Dan video. But just like how to list a card on eBay, how to pack and ship a Pokemon card, how to pack and ship your first sale, how to submit to PSA, how to condition a card for PSA. That's actually a video I'm going to make either way. That one's coming either way. But I've thought about that, and at some point I plan to do it because I've made all those videos. All those videos are in my backlog, but they're over 3 years old, most of them, with 200 views, 100 views, 50. Like, I don't know what my oldest videos have for views, but I actually want to see what's the least viewed video on my channel. I don't even know. I'm interested to see what that is. I want to see what the least viewed video on my channel is. I think you can sort by... So you can sort by popular, but you can't go low to high. I'm just going to scroll all the way down for the next, like, hour. It's actually going pretty quick. So my lowest viewed video on the whole channel is... funny. My lowest viewed video is 3 years old, which is reasonable. My second least viewed video is only a year old. It's actually going on 2 years old, but it's a MetaZoo video, naturally. The 2023 tournament schedule. Rest in peace to that, because that didn't happen the way that it was planned. But anyways, my oldest video is me opening a Fossil First Edition box. I literally opened 12 heavy hollow packs for me. I did it personally for myself in a video. I cracked an entire Fossil box just so I could grade the light packs, grade the hits. Wild. I did that 3 years ago on the channel. But I did a lot of videos like that early in my channel, and a lot of them would just have a few hundred views. So I will refresh some of those at some point. I saw somebody say Caleb Hammer. I did watch a little bit of Caleb Hammer for a short time. It wasn't really for me. I've actually done for a couple different people. I've done like a version. I guess one person I did like a heavy version of Caleb Hammer. Other people I've done like a Caleb Hammer light, looking over their finances, trying to help them find inefficiencies, trying to help them find things to fix, suggestions for it. But the content's interesting, but I am not a huge fan of the execution, I guess. I'm not a huge fan of Caleb himself, his personality, whatever it is. I don't know. It's interesting for sure, but I did it for a couple months. I listened to several of them, and I'm done now. I don't listen to his anymore. But I listened to I Will Teach You to Be Rich, is a book I've read, written by Ramit Sethi, I believe is how you pronounce his name. Someone in Discord said, hey, have you ever listened to any of his podcasts? He does like he takes a financial couple. He takes like a married couple, and he does like an hour-long breakdown of their finances, talks about them. It's almost like marriage/financial counseling that he does with like a married couple. I've only listened to one. It was enjoyable. I'll probably like semi-binge that backlog for a couple weeks. Maybe I'll listen to a couple new ones. But I don't think long-term that will be anything that I'll follow. It's interesting, but I can't like do that forever. It's not a channel that I'll follow forever. We got a little backlog of questions that I'll try to catch up on. Red, Green, Blue by Drake featuring Dan Ketchum Collectibles. I'm going to put that into my watch later. I've never heard that song, and it's pretty new. So I'm going to put that, if that's actually the one, I'm going to put that in my watch. Or Blue, Green, Red. Red, Green, Blue. I don't know. I'm going to put that in my watch later, though, so I can listen to that once we're done. Blue, Green, Red, it's called. AKA How to Start as a Level 1 Caterpie. Those videos exist in my backlog. Most of those videos are quite evergreen. I think they would still apply mostly. So feel free to go back at your leisure and listen to them. But I will try to make a refresh of those. I cannot promise any expedience on that. They will probably be slow to come. Over the next several months, I will trickle out a refresh of those. So as of right now, do you pay your streamers, sellers a percentage of what they sell or a flat salary? So I am starting out, I am paying them a flat wage. I am paying them a flat hourly wage per hour streamed. They pack on their own time. I'm paying them a high hourly wage per hour streamed. They set up the streams off camera, obviously. They ship off camera. But I'm paying them an agreeable wage. I am very transparent in my business, but one thing that I won't share with full transparency is if it's a number that someone else is involved with, I'm not going to share on behalf of PK, on behalf of Ponga, what they make. If they ever want to share it, they can. I think they probably don't want to share it because they're compensated quite well, and they probably don't want too many people encroaching in my inbox trying to become a streamer for me. I'm paying them quite well, but they're doing a great job. I've been very happy with how it's launched. I pay them a flat pay right now. I'm waiting till I get a couple months worth of data, and then I'm going to do all the metrics. I'm going to do items per hour. I'm going to do dollars per hour. I'm going to look at like, hey, if we did 5%, if we did 10%, how would that relate to, how would that compare to the flat hourly rate that I'm paying them right now? And in the future, we might do a structure where it is flat hourly plus a percentage. That has been in talks. That might happen, but as of right now, it's just a flat hourly. Pokemon investing cosplayers. That might be. I don't know that I've heard that said by anyone else. Let me know in the chat. Has Drake or has Drake not made a rap about Pokemon investing cosplayers? I don't think I've heard those three words said consecutively. I think I might have coined that one. Maybe I haven't. Let me know. I know Brad and Retro will let me know if anyone else coined that first. Let's see. I am the worst pumper of my affiliate links. The one affiliate link that like I can consciously, knowingly, with no like holding back, I can pump the Fanatics one because it's literally free money. But like my eBay, if you listen to my YouTube channel, I literally tell you to not buy stuff from my eBay. My eBay a couple months from now will entirely be deep quantity of high pop slabs that you can buy elsewhere for cheaper. I will be selling at a 2.5% markup. Like all the stuff I sell has an ad rate and it's a 5 or 10% markup to market. So I literally tell people to not buy from my eBay. Use my affiliate link on eBay to buy from someone else. Nice thing about the eBay affiliate link, if you're buying it anyways, you don't pay any extra money. Nice thing about the Fanatics affiliate link, you go buy something you weren't going to buy anyways and you just get free money or free product. Like go rip 9 packs for $5 instead of for $50. People cosplay as Brian just for the hair. Have you cleaned any tenderloin since Wonder's house? I have not, though I do buy whole tenderloins. I need to make a Costco trip in the next 2 weeks because I need to get for Thanksgiving. Naturally, a staple Thanksgiving food. I'm doing a brisket and I'm doing a pork belly. So those are obviously they are at every Thanksgiving table, so I need to have them at mine. But when I go to Costco, I usually buy a whole ribeye so that I can cut them up and freeze them for myself. I like them cut thicker than most, but butchers cut them, and it's usually a little bit cheaper to buy them whole and then freeze them yourself. I vacuum seal them, I do that whole thing, and I freeze them. It's partially for saving money, but just as much as saving money, it's for just having the proper thickness of steak I like having that it's hard to find anywhere. I like them thicker so that I can throw them on the smoker and I can reverse sear them. I throw them on the smoker until 130, 135 internal, and then I sear them, and beautiful. So I've not cleaned a tenderloin since, but I will probably be cleaning one in the next week or two because I'll buy a whole one from Costco. And I will remember the chain and all the things. I will remember my teachings. I appreciate you, chef. Wow, nice sandals. I wear $12 not Avias. I wear $12 sandals that I get on Amazon. I buy them 3 to 5 at a time because I tear through them pretty good when I'm out mowing the lawn, running around the lawn with my kids, kicking a soccer ball around, whatever. I buy like 3 to 5 pairs at a time, and then 3 years later, I need 3 to 5 more. And I'm like, crap, I wish I just bought 20 last time because the price went up like 50%. Damn inflation. Dan, did you see PSA remove declared value from submitting online? I did not see that. That's crazy. Jesus sandals. Auction the sandals on Fanatics. I need to actually talk with somebody at Topps. I need to get a special insert card made. Game worn. Like every time I kick a new pair of sandals, approximately once a year, I need to get those turned into game worn patch autos. I need to do like a patch of my a thin sliver, a cross section of my sandal. ETH is a shit coin, sell and buy Bitcoin. I know like USDC I utilize. So USDC is a stable coin that, as far as I understand, I'm not a huge technical guy with how crypto works, but it exists on ERC20. It exists on an Ethereum chain, as far as I understand. That's one dangerous thing about the lawnmower videos and the lawnmower pictures. Many of them would include free fit pics and free feet pics, and I don't give those out for free. There are special websites for that. PokeNE, you love to see it. PokeNE bought 500 boxes of Paradox and can't name 3 cards from Paradox. So, bro just gave advice on Paradox Rift 10 questions ago, knows 1 card in the set. Is Groudon one of them? I think I have a Groudon in front of me. It might be the Japanese one, though. I just saw one. Where'd it go? Oh, that was in a different pile. I think that was in a different pile that I was sending to PK Arpanga. I have in front of me some grading misses. Someone sold me their grading misses. So I'm not going to say who, but if you're listening out there, you probably know who you are. Someone just sold me their grading misses. So the grading miss pile was this tall. I am grading this many of their grading misses. I might need to like clip this. I need to take a picture. I will take a picture of that and I will follow up. So you know who you are if you sold these to me because you just sold them today. I'm not going to show the cards. But someone sold me their grading misses and the whole stack was their grading misses. I'm grading this many. So I'm grading approximately 25% of what they deemed as cast-offs. I'll be interested to see what my 10 rate is on what I grade off their grading misses. But I have said many times, and I will say it in future videos, people pre-grade way too hard for PSA. PSA grades easy. PSA is the easy participation trophy 10. I've made videos on how PSA is a participation trophy. And the market loves it. Market loves participation trophies. That's the age we live in. Participation trophies all around. And I'm here to sell them. So yeah, I'm grading all these grading misses and we'll see how many 10s I get and what 10 percentage I get. Actually, it only has 4 variants. Dark Explorers. So Dark Explorers has Dark Explorers, Plasma Storm, or Legendary Treasures. Plasma Storm has the Charizard and the Blastoise, which are really nice. Legendary Treasures has the Radiant Collection, has the Gold, Reshiram, and Zekrom, I believe. It has a Holo Charizard. Dark Explorers has that one has a Darkrai. Next Destinies has a Mewtwo. Dark Explorers. Plasma Storm has an Ultra Ball too, a gold Ultra Ball that used to be really valuable. Probably still holds some amount of value because it's probably still playable when Ultra Ball's in format. But Dark Explorers, I can't think of. Does that one have a gold Max Elixir maybe? And then the hits are like Darkrai. I need to pull up Dark Explorers because that is a pretty solid set, and I can't think about that one much. That one did predate my time, but I did open a box of that. Let me find Dark Explorers because I'm curious what's in it. So Dark Explorers had Entei, Kyogre, Raikou, Suicune. I did get the... Oh, no Suicune, sorry. So it had the gold Gardevoir and Archeops. It did not have a gold... It did not have a gold trainer at all. It had a Pokemon catcher. But, yeah, Tornadus, Darkrai, Groudon, Raikou. One of those things that Pokemon likes to do where they give you 2 of a trio. They give you the Entei and the Raikou, but they don't give you the Suicune. Interesting. But I prefer Plasma Storm, honestly. Charizard. That's enough. Enough said. When are we investing in break cards? Oh, that's darkness. That's darkness. Battle Compressor was the other Phantom Forces playable card. All I know is Golden Go, if that's how they spell it. I think there's an H in there somewhere in Golden Go. That's String Cheese Man, right? I pulled a String Cheese Man. I have a String Cheese Man in my PC somewhere that I pulled in person at Houston, I think. This is a reverse Rain Man chat. What's up, Dan? Love your content. Keep crushing. I will definitely end before 3 hours. I'm going to call it quits in the next 20 minutes. If you have more questions, feel free to leave them. I will speed up if needed. I will get through all the questions. But, XY and back, similar collector boy. Let's see. Love how he rails on people making bad decisions. Oh, Caleb Hammer must be. Those guys are entertainment, not finance. Yeah, definitely. A lot of them, like, the least common denominator, just like in Pokemon. If you go too far down the rabbit holes, which I think this channel ends up fairly down the finance rabbit hole, it doesn't appeal to the masses. You need to stay very topical. If you put red lines and green lines and rocket emojis on your chart and you talk about, Brian and Alex were talking about this just earlier. If you stay very topical, very surface level, 30,000 feet, if you talk about what 5 cards went up, what 5 cards went down, what 5 cards you're buying in November of 2024, those videos have way more mass appeal. They will reach tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of views potentially. If you're completing a binder in 20 minutes or you lose everything, that has way more mass appeal. The business stuff, the deep finance, deep business stuff just has a lot lower ceiling. Alex and Brian, though, just hours earlier today, 1,000 viewers strong. I would have thought the ceiling was lower than that. So Alex and Brian were breaking through ceilings earlier. I will be live on Monday on Alex's channel. I don't think I have the star power. I know I don't have the star power of Brian by pure objective metrics of the subscriber and viewership count. But I'll be interested to see what Alex and I pull on a Monday midday. I think we're doing 12 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Eastern. So I'll be excited for that. I have PokeFlips this Friday. We actually are stealing half of Alex's new podcast. We're having PokePlumber on. So I want to say like a year, maybe earlier this year, Nick and I had Alex on. So we had Nostalgianomics on, PokeFlips, and we're gonna do the other half of Alex's new podcast. We're gonna have PokePlumber on. I met him at New Jersey for the first time, I want to say. I saw him again in Chicago. I talk with him periodically on Instagram, a fellow Mets fan. So yeah, we talked a little bit throughout that, but I'm excited to have him on, and I'm excited to be on. I was just on. We're booming. I'm doing a weekly live now. PokeFlips is still only every other week. I was just on with Cardboard Hands, Retrospects, Old Card Shop, and I was on that Monday, and I will be on Nostalgianomics Monday again. Always feel like if you're listening, if you have a channel and you just want to talk Pokemon, I love going on other people's channels and talking Pokemon. PokeFlips, we only have one guest a month, so we work through people there slowly at our own pace. I don't really do like collaborations here. I guess in the past, I've pulled in people from Discord. I've pulled in people for like live chats. Maybe I'll do more in the future, but it's hard to organize. Like, props to all the people who do that. I guess Brad's gonna love this. I'm giving props to myself on PokeFlips, not myself on my own channel, but myself and Nick. Props to people who bring on others, hear other people's perspectives, hear other people's stories. I think that's great. I would love to do that on this channel too, but it is hard. It is just an additional layer of difficulty having to coordinate, set up with other people. I like when I can just go on and just be there. No prep work, and I do that largely with my live streams too, but when I can go on someone else's channel, interact with new people, I enjoy that. I enjoy that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to being on Alex's Monday, and I'm looking forward to having Nick on Friday. Those drawings behind you are dope. They are from the Pokemon Center. Unfortunately, I do not have an affiliate link for Pokemon Center. But yeah, Andre Jick doesn't come anymore. I think it's Jikh or something. He bought Pokemon cards. I actually met him. I met him very briefly at Pokemon Saves the World in 2021. But I don't get recommended his content anymore at all. I don't know. I'm assuming he's still full-time making content, but I never subscribed and it just doesn't come anymore. Yeah, he's still making videos. 2 days ago. Oh, but two days ago was his last one, but before that was 1 month ago. So he's making less frequently, it looks like. What's that lamp thing behind you? Looks like the Pringles man. What lamp thing? Let me get rid of the comment. I don't know if you're talking about the Steins. These are beer Steins. These are all mini beer Steins. There's a shout out to Maria. Maria gave me that at one of the conventions I went to with her in person. I don't know what looks like. Let me know. Refine monkey, and I'll let you know what it is. What's that lamp thing? I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure what you're talking about. Dan is one of the few people that knows how to package ESE orders. Card saver, always card saver. I've always got them handy because that is the only thing you use. I wonder if there's any Pokemon card that features a Stein. If there is, let me know. Oh, Stein. It's a Stein. Yes. So this is Schultz. This is Dooley. If you want to go down a deep, dark rabbit hole, back in the 50s. Back in the 50s, these Steins came out. The original ones. These are not first editions. But they used to be the official, well, they still are, the official spokesmugs for Utica Club beer. And they used to actually make commercials with Schultz and Dooley in them. A lot of very politically incorrect things. Back in the day, there are some very politically incorrect characters that are in the in the posse of Schultz and Dooley. But yeah, funny little spokesmugs. What is your favorite Surging Sparks card so far? The most expensive one. I've not pulled one. So my daughter, we opened a booster bundle each. Or no, we opened an ETB each. Myself, my daughter, my son, and my wife. And my daughter pulled the cheap, the $30, not the $700. She pulled the cheap, the IR, I guess, not the SIR. But that one, like, they look fine. I'm not a huge fan of the whole. I'm not a huge fan. I'm not a huge fan. This is obviously not that card, but this one's in front of me. I'm not a huge fan of the hats things, but like, yeah, like aside from the couple that I pulled, I do not know a lot of the cards in Surging Sparks. So I'm just gonna say the most expensive one to be safe. I could use your sandals as a flotation device. I don't have any Art Academies raw. All mine were graded before. I did have one that I sent to CGC and I already sold it. Like, if I knew it was coming at some point soon, I would have held off and I would have waited to get it in a PSA slab to sell it. I got beat up a little bit for it being CGC, but are you also investing in sealed hobby sports cards? Not at all. I've bought a couple Igor Shesterkin RPAs in advance of him winning the Stanley Cup this year. I did say that last year, and it didn't pan out, but it will pan out this year. That said, though, if they do win and if the cards do 2x, 3x, I probably won't sell them anyways. I have a signed Igor card, thanks to none other than PokeChef. So shout out to PokeChef. I do not have it handy, but I need to get my PC binder all put together so that I can show off things from time to time. On replay right now, anytime you want a crypto consultation, I got you. It's on the house. I manage over 20 clients' portfolios and have been here every day for the past 5 years. Cheers. I appreciate that. My engagement with crypto is very minimal. I feel like at some point, so it'll all be by feel, as it always is, but I own 1.5 to 2 Bitcoin. At some point in the next 6 months, it feels like, maybe 6 weeks, maybe 6 days. At some point, I feel like I might sell a quarter to a half of a Bitcoin, assuming that we're going to run to a new high and then go down and then go back up. Like people get so confident about 100K, 120K, 150K, like, I don't know what the number's going to be. No one knows what the number's going to be. Someone's going to guess and they're going to get it right and then they're going to get overconfident. But like, I don't know. I will sell at some point around 100 to 120K, maybe 0.25 to 0.5 Bitcoin. I will have to pay long-term capital gains on it. I will owe a bunch in taxes, but I will plan for that. And then what I will do is I will sell a quarter to a half a Bitcoin somewhere by feel. Maybe it's 100 to 120. Maybe we rocket through that, and maybe I'm selling it at 150. Half a Bitcoin for 75 grand. Who knows? I will do that, though, with the future plan to buy back in. So I will have to pay my taxes. That money will be gone now. But say I sell 75 grand worth. My intent will be to wait for Bitcoin to go back down under 75 and then rebuy an entire Bitcoin. So like sell half a Bitcoin and then for the same price rebuy a whole Bitcoin, or sell a quarter of a Bitcoin and then at a future lower price rebuy a third of a Bitcoin or 4/10 of a Bitcoin or whatever it may be. That's what I've done historically. I grew what used to be half a Bitcoin. Sounds so paltry, but like that's literally today, $45,000. I grew what used to be half a Bitcoin back when Bitcoin was like probably 20 grand. I probably had half a Bitcoin-ish. I probably had 10K in Bitcoin. I didn't feel like forking out over 10K to get it done, but I bought when it was low and I sold when it was high. And I worked from half a Bitcoin up to like 1.5 to 2 Bitcoin. I have the most Bitcoin I've ever had right now. And I don't want to sell it all. But if it went to $1 million, I would sell it because that would get me to financial independence. So yeah, that's my like take on crypto, where I'm at with it, what my plan is. So gross to think people would want pieces of your cut up shoe. Get off your high horse, Dan. That's hilarious. I Brian looked into Foot Finder in college. Not even kidding. Could have worked, to be honest. That's hilarious. It might happen. It might happen. And I told the person that I bought the grading misses. I told them I will let them know. I will let them know. I will let YouTube know. I let people know of my failures. I just told about a major failure in this video tonight. I had a $50,000 offer on the table, and I'm going to be auctioning this thing for like 25 to 40 grand, somewhere in there. Big range. I have no idea where it'll go, but it'll probably go, if I had to guess, between 25 and 40 grand. And I turned down 50 grand 2 years ago. So I have L's, and I talk about them when they come. Can you show some examples of easy PSA 10 cards? Think I'm super strict when pre-grading. Blindly buy 10 Celebrations Charizards off TCG Player. Do not buy from me, because I sell my grading misses through there. But buy them from someone else who doesn't grade. Look up their names on eBay. Look up their names elsewhere and see if they sell graded cards. If they do, don't buy from them. Don't buy from TCG Player direct either. But if you buy 10 blindly on TCG Player, 3 to 5 at least should be gradable. Historically, by my own numbers, I'm saying 3 to 5 to be safe. More like 6 to 7 have been gradable for me historically. And I did a video a year ago now talking about, I bought 100 blind Celebrations Charizards on TCG Player. I graded 75 of them, and I sold the 10s, I sold the 9s, and it all amounted to, I made on average $35 per card. I made $3,500 buying and grading, buying 100 cards, grading 75, selling all the misses, selling all the 9s, selling all the 10s. I made $3,500 in like 10 hours worth of work, maybe not even. I made hundreds of dollars an hour selling 100 Celebrations Charizards. So that's one. Trash is gold and gold is trash. Trademark that. Pokeyeni's working on some trademarks. A lot of different ones we got in the chat right now. Here we go. If we do a threesome on Alex's channel, we'd hit 2,000 viewers, no doubt. I mean, I'm in. I'm in. Whenever you want to. Dan about to kill Nostalgianomics algorithm. Shaking my head. How's it going, Steve's Collectibles? How do you have the TCG prices embedded in your spreadsheet? So I will just copy and paste. I found this playing around with a bunch of different videos and different things. So I use import XML, and I will just, I don't know if it'll allow me to do this. I will copy and paste the whole thing. It's too long, so I can't do it. But DM me on Instagram, Discord, wherever. Email me. I probably won't answer tonight because I'm probably gonna go right to bed after this. I am wrapping up in 5 or 10 minutes. But I use an import XML function. So you do import XML, and then you do the hyperlink to the item page, and then you do the XPath query of the market price on TCG Player. So you have to, when you accidentally mash your keyboard and you open up that weird thing that comes to the side, you need to open up that thing and you need to copy the XPath for like when you inspect element. I forget what the hotkey. What's the hotkey for inspect element? Inspect element hotkey that you accidentally hit sometimes. Google Chrome Command Option C. So if I've accidentally opened that side thing that opens when you do inspect element. But yeah, you do inspect element, and then you click on the one you want, and you copy the XPath for it, and then yeah, that all gets pulled into my Google Doc. When you have a decent stock of PSA 10s of a card that is booming, do you try to move them all quickly or spread out your sales a bit? I will soon be faced with that. So this card is booming. I bought a sealed case of 400. I should get 100 to 150 PSA 10s. I should get several CGC Pristine 10s. I will get a handful of Pristine Golds, maybe one Black Label. I am probably going to chuck them. One thing I might do, I might chuck them and then immediately rebuy more. I will chuck them, immediately rebuy more, lock in some known fixed margin, and then try to just replicate. And if it comes down some, it's like, that's fine. But I've done it different ways. Like if you have 100, you kind of got to go a little bit slow to some extent. Though James listed like 45 of these in a day, and like they sold within 3 days. But it depends on cash flow. Like, are you tight for cash flow right now? Are you not buying things because you don't have the money? I would be more likely to liquidate. If you are flush with cash and you are buying everything and you don't have the time to buy more stuff, be more patient. So it's often less respective to broader market considerations. What I do, likely what Brian does, and I don't want to speak for him, maybe he's still here in chat, but like more often what I'm doing is respective of my market conditions, my cash flow considerations, what's going on with me. Did I just spend $100,000 on a collection? Did I just buy a $50,000 pallet from distribution? A lot of times my considerations are more to do with that than what's happening in the broader market, or just as much at least. Like Brian right now, and I don't think he said it, but I would speculate, due to being a cash basis filer, I would speculate some amount of Brian's extra spending right now, buying 500 boxes of Paradox Rift, buying all the 151 he talked about earlier today. I would imagine some of that is to get his numbers down in his bank account so that he's not hit with a major tax bill. Because cash basis, you write it off as you buy it. You write off inventory as you buy it. So yeah, like I navigate what I'm doing with my capital and my cash flow largely to optimize personal things, like my business things, as much or more than market conditions. So I collect Steins. It's called, the broader thing is called Breweriana. It's a very hard word to say. I don't think I say it correctly, but like the word brewery, Breweriana. So you take off the Y and then you put IANA, Breweriana. So I collect Steins. I collect mini Steins. I don't have any in here, but I have this. So check out this creepy dude. I think I had people guess in chat before how much this creepy dude is worth. But here we go. This creepy dude up here, this is what's called chalkware. This was made in the 1930s. This thing is going to be 100 years old relatively soon. I like that is like $700. So like nearly 100-year-old piece of history being worth so much less. And in the world, like there are probably only hundreds of those things left intact. There were probably thousands made 100 years ago, maybe tens of thousands, made as like an advertising thing. They were sent out to salesmen. They were sent out to bars. Not many of them survive in good condition. Mine's in pretty solid condition. There's a variant of that that's over $1,000. This one has, so his base is a red U and a red C, Utica Club. There's one with blue pants. Instead of a UC body, he has actual body and pants. Blue pants. I think there's black pants too. Over $1,000. I want one. I'm going to buy one eventually. I haven't seen one come up in a while. There's Chase. There is Chase like that in Pokemon 2, to be fair. But like if you want an illustrator, just buy one. If you want a SSB, if you want a TMB, if you want an Alpha, Beta, Omega, Epsilon test card, just buy one. As of right now, that won't last forever. But as of right now, it feels like everything is everywhere. If you want a Pika Orb, Pika Ring, a Mew Orb, that stuff's everywhere. If I want a blue pants guy, I know of 3 people who own one, and they want triple what the last one sold for. It's like, I don't want to pay $5,000 for it. But if one comes up for $1,500, I'll probably buy one. So I collect things with actual chase. I just got one of my grails. I got one of my, it's like, it would go above a pool table. It's a big rotating light that would go above a pool table. It's got like an ice pick handle thing, and it's got a big red sign that says cold beer here, all that stuff. That was like $700 or $800 I paid in trade though. So I had a bunch of old Steins. I had a bunch of old mini Steins I didn't care about. I traded them all towards it, and he gave me cash on top. So I collect coins. I collect Breweriana. I collect plushes to some extent. I collect interesting pieces of Pokemon art. But I don't collect many Pokemon cards, to be honest. I collect personal ones that mean things to me. I collect ones that I get as gifts. But I'm a collector at heart. I'm a collector at heart. But Pokemon has swung to where the evil capitalist comes out of me, and I can't justify. I still have, when I was younger, I played to an extent. I played Pogs, and I collected Pogs. I still have all my Pogs from when I was younger. I don't actively collect them anymore, but I'm not getting rid of my childhood ones. I have all my Legos from growing up. I would love to get into Legos more as like if my son gets into it more. I actually just the other day we built some of his sets that he got for his birthday. It's been a few months, but we built a Jurassic Park one. I love Legos. I love I could see myself getting into collecting, but I don't want to allow myself to because I feel like I'm too broke to. The sets are so expensive. Tying up all that capital at this point in my life, at this point in time, doesn't feel reasonable. I can justify buying the ones for my kids for gifts and stuff, and I interact with it in that way. But I could see myself like 10 years from now, 20 years from now, Collector Dan really coming back out and buying a bunch of Lego sets and buying a bunch of coins and buying a bunch of bullion and buying a bunch of Pokemon cards again. But I'm just not there right now. I'm not ready for it. But oh, that's awesome. My dad loves chalkware. So I have two distinct, like they're pretty well known. They're pretty big, but they're, again, talking about the funnel. So like everyone knows Schultz and Dooley. Everyone knows the modern Steins that they're releasing at the brewery. But for you to get into that creepy chalkware, dude, you are deep down the rabbit hole. You are Art Academy. You are Versus Series. You are Unlimited E-Series. You are E-Lotties, if Ernesto's in chat. You're deep down the rabbit hole to get to the chalkware from the 40s and the 30s and the 50s. But I have two pieces. That's one of them, and the other one is like a bartender with a couple mugs. It actually holds foam scrapers. I have Utica Club foam scrapers. I have Utica Club bottle openers. I have so many different things. Utica Club. I have a pocket knife right here. I have a Utica Club pocket knife that they used to give to the salesman that would go around. So I am a collector. I'm a collector at heart. It just doesn't show that much with well, aside from all this behind me, it doesn't show much with Pokemon cards because the whole don't get high on your own supply. No, I did not make that phrase. Pokey, I've heard him quote it probably 5 times in the past month. I don't smoke crack, I just sell it or something. What one of the big rappers said, that's not my quote either, and I do not do that myself, neither consuming it nor selling it. So, but yeah, that's I'm gonna try to. I'm a little bit late now. I said I was gonna end at 12:30, but I will get through everything. I will get through everything. It's not deep versus not deep. It's a dude who's a YouTube magician versus people who have actually worked in the finance industry. But there are people like there are Magic the Gathering channels who stay very topical, and it's fine. Like people want that. Most people want very topical. I watched Tavis King. Is it Tavis? Why am I second guessing his name's Tavis King? Yes, I second guessed myself on it being Tavis King. I watched a Tavis King video on collation of Magic the Gathering alpha and beta sheets. That is as deep as you can get down the rabbit hole. This dude, Tavis King to Magic, is like a historian. He is as knowledgeable, nearly as knowledgeable as it gets, but like he's not mainstream. People aren't going to find him because most people don't care. Most people don't get it. Is deep versus not deep 100%. Tavis King is more expert on Magic than probably every single channel that has more than 100,000 subscribers in Magic. But he's deeper than most people care to go. He has 3.5k subscribers because a lot of people just don't care. People won't find him because they don't get to the bottom of the funnel. They don't get that deep down the rabbit hole. And that's fine. Like, most people just want topical. Most people just want to be entertained. Most people want, hey, I worked all day at my 9 to 5. I want to turn my brain off. I want to see Pat Flynn trying to complete a binder. Oh, man, is he going to do it? He might do it. He might not do it. Oh, man, like, he just made that big trade that he needed to make, came in right under the buzzer, and he did it. Or he's doing a battle with Pokevault, trying to build the coolest binder for $100. Like, that content's not for me, but that content's way more mainstream. It's way more topical. It's inherently surface level. Like, it's not deep into anything really, but it's good YouTube content. It's what people want, what more people want, which is fine. Like, yeah, I wouldn't enjoy making that content, so I don't. And I don't think I could. I'm not like I could do it either. I could not do it to the level PokeRev, PokeVault, Leonhardt, Deep Pocket Monster. I can't do that. Do I still have the Quaxley promo? I do. I still have the Quaxley. Yes, I have a lot of Quaxleys in my collection. Not a fan of hats. Buys 40K worth of Pikachu with hats. If you're a long-term investor and nothing has changed about the asset, why would you sell? What makes Bitcoin any different than any other investment other than volatility? Why try timing the market? So I only sell. I don't time the market in traditional investments. I don't try to time the market. I don't tiptoe in and out of the market at all in the S&P 500. I do in crypto though. I feel like based on vibes, I cannot vibe check. Like if you listen to people that predict they predict what's the saying? They've predicted 50 of the last 5 corrections. They've predicted 50 of the last 5 bear markets. People that are constant, like I know people who used to take their 401k out into the safe option and then back into the market and then back out and then back in. And then you miss a 25% year. I do not mess around at all with my 401k. I do not mess around with my IRAs, but I mess around with cardboard. I mess around with crypto. It's less of my net worth. It's more risky. So I interact more risky with my more risky stuff, if that makes sense. But I'm in and out. I will never allow myself, unless it's life-changing money, to sell myself under 1 Bitcoin. Once I got an entire Bitcoin, I told myself I'm not going under this unless it's a life-changing amount of money. I think I probably went from like 0.9 to 1.2 Bitcoin because I probably had 0.9 and then I probably sold a third of a Bitcoin to get down to about 0.6, and then the market went down a bunch and then I bought 0.6 more with what I had sold out. But I go in and out of the risky stuff based on vibes, which I know is crazy, but like it's a certain percentage of my net worth that I'm comfortable being crazy with. So that's how I justify it. Julia says, completely missed you were live, but catching the last 5 to 10 minutes of the live. Well, Julia, you are 12 minutes in, so you got a little bit of bonus live. I have more than 100K. I spend everything over that. Yeah, I'm similar. I like to have a certain number, but there's also such a thing as too much liquidity. I don't like to have significantly over 100K in liquidity. Like if I have that, I will try to buy something. I will try to put it somewhere, but I don't like to have less than it either. And if you have 100K worth of liquidity and then you put buy posts out and then you buy 50K in 1 week, or if maybe you only have 60K and you buy 50K in 1 week and you're looking at 10K like, oh man, because all the best deals you can't buy on your credit card. All the best deals, when you're buying an 80% collection, that person wants Zelle. They want PayPal friends and family. I can't swipe a credit card for that. So I need to have liquid capital ready. And that's part of why. In addition to selling 5 figures a week on eBay, in addition to selling 4 figures a week with James on his eBay, in addition to selling 6 figures a month with Fanatics Live, in addition to all that stuff, I'm giving a cash flow injection by selling off this stuff in the coming weeks. I hate cash passionately. Cash is trash, as they say. It's king when making sales for various reasons, but for holding long term, cash has performed very poorly. Inflation is inherent to it is by design. It is a bad long term hold. What are your thoughts on the first edition base set uncut sheets? Do you mean the uncut foil wrappers that Rusty was talking about in his recent videos? I did watch both those videos. I have no idea. I think it's plausible that they are some kind of a test print or whatever, some kind of a thing along in manufacturing, but I genuinely have no idea. I'm not the buyer for that. I did watch his videos though, and I thought it was interesting. What about Fiesta wear? I don't. Drew Dan, smart move to hold out for better price on Blue Pants Guy. I'm not gonna FOMO into Blue Pants Guy. There are wild things happening though in some parts of vintage Steins. There's a creamer set. So there's Schultz and Dooley. One is for sugar. I want to say the Dooley is he has a spout for creamer and an open top head, obviously. And then the Schultz is for it's creamer and sugar. So he has just a lid that comes off. And then there's salt and pepper shakers. There's actually thimbles. There's Schultz and Dooley thimbles. My in-laws at a local antique show, they found Schultz and Dooley thimbles. Schultz, Dooley, Countess, Farmer McGee, and UC. They found a full set of the 5 thimbles. My guy that I did the trade with to get the rotating bar light that was one of my grails, he offered $500, I believe it was. $500 for 5 thimbles. Literally the things you wear on your fingers. My in-laws don't use that for utility. I don't know if anyone, like, people probably use thimbles for something these days, but my in-laws just have them on display at their house. I told them I have a guy offering $500 cash for 5 thimbles they paid $1 a piece for, and they declined selling. They are diamond hands. They're not like speculating, investing. They think they're neat. They bought them. They thought it was kind of interesting that they are 100x on paper, but they didn't care to realize their gains. Interesting, very interesting, the collectibles hobbies and how they can ebb and flow and stuff. If you're talking about actual first edition base set uncut sheets, Rusty does have those. Those are awesome. Those are way above my pay grade. I love them. They're cool. I will never own them though. Yeah. Let's see. Everyone's a big fan of the blue pants guy. I don't know what these words are, but I'm digging it. I like it. Getting the full Toa Mata, Borak, and Rakshi line sealed by 2025. Is that Bionicles? I know you were talking about Bionicles recently in one of your videos. I don't know what that is though, but maybe that's Bionicles. Or Beyblades. You talked about Beyblades too today. Has anyone else seen the Evolving Skies promo, the Sword Shield 28, the EB Games Australia version that was supposed to be destroyed and now are surfacing on eBay? I've not seen that. I try to deal in the high pop, high liquidity, I try to deal in that stuff. I occasionally, given the right opportunity, I will play in the niches. In the past, I've definitely delved in the niches, obviously, but I don't try to do it as much anymore. Like the Rain City promo or whatever, Pikachu that came out recently, I'm aware of it because PK talked about it, but otherwise I don't play in the niches like that too much. Please don't get into Bricklink Dan. I used to buy and sell Legos. To an extent. Never too deep. I did have a Bricklink account. I did sell Legos on eBay. I sold video games on eBay before, N64, PlayStation. I used to fix PlayStation 3s when they had the yellow light of death. I used to Frankenstein PlayStations. I used to fix the the disc read error. I used to swap out the Blu-ray disc drives. I used to swap out the Blu-ray sensors, the Blu-ray diodes themselves. I used to actually buy. I still remember. I used to buy broken ones, broken all different ways, and I would just Frankenstein them. I'd build them. I'd make $50 to $100 an hour back when I was living with my parents in 2011, 2012. I had graduated college. I was making a little over 50 grand a year as a chemical engineer, and I was making 10 to 20 grand a year side hustling my silver thing. I was also doing video games. I was also doing a little bit of like silver too. So yeah, I was making an extra 40 to 50% on my income in an extra 10 to 20 hours a week maybe. And I was doing Steins then too. I was doing a lot of, as Professor Oak says, very awkwardly a lot of times, I had my fingers in a lot of pies back then. I don't know if they're real. I would not buy them though. But anyways, let's see. I don't know what I said there, but I got some people laughing. Pooping Turtle 69. I don't know if you were here earlier, but this may or may not be your grading misses. These were all your grading misses. This is what I'm grading. So I'm grading these. These were all your grading misses. So it was Pooping Turtle 69 that I bought his grading misses. Shout out to him. Kendrick said it first. Big Hits Collectibles says, don't get high on own crack. Taking notes. Oh my god. What distributor do you recommend for Pokemon cards? I have Alliance, and they cut my allocations bad and only got 4 boxes of One Piece instead of cases, and I have a store. I have GTS and I have Mad Al. I'm not in love with either of them. I think they're both fine. There's pros and cons to each, but they treat me fine overall. I've been with Mad Al. I actually typed that in chat earlier in Brian and Alex's thing. I forget how Madal, I forget how Alex read it, but it was kind of funny. But Mad Al Distributors, they're in Alaska and Kentucky. I obviously buy from the Kentucky branch, but GTS is in like, they're in New York and Florida and Kansas and California. They're everywhere. They're all over the place. I've been with those both for quite a while though. Rusty actually made 2 videos about it. Yes, I've seen that. So you're talking about uncut sheets of booster pack wrappers. So Brian, I'm not sure if you're familiar, but I've never messed with PayPal working capital. I get the things from eBay. We can loan you up to $200,000. We can loan you up to this, up to that. I don't like, I use credit cards. So I have 2 credit cards with about a $50,000 limit each. I will dip into those heavily and I will cash flow those over the span of a month or 2. When you're selling 2-3 million a year, you can go 100K onto credit cards and you can figure it out within 30 to 45 days. I've done that a couple times. I don't feel great about it. Like I'm talking about where my bank account was only 30 and I have 90 on credit cards. I don't like it. I generally, if I have 90 on credit cards, I like to have 150 in the bank so that I can pay the 90. I always pay it at the last second. I pay it only when I need to have space to charge something or when the statement balance is due. Sometimes I have to pay multiple times because I put 100 grand through a 50 grand credit card in 1 month. So sometimes I will pay them more than once, but I always try to keep them like at their limits and I just keep the cash in my bank account generally. Thimble talk is where I draw the line. Time to shut her down. Oh, that's hilarious. I'm thinking about it in case I can get what I asked for prismatic. I would doubt if you're getting that much potentially, you'd get it all. But like, yeah, you do need to have plans in place, right? I don't know. Brian, do you do like ACH with your distributors or do you do credit card? I would love to get terms with my distributor where I could do like net 30 terms and do ACH, but I still do credit card on everything. They charge me like a 2.5% fee and then my credit card gives me 2% cash back. So it's almost a wash. I'm technically paying a 0.5% premium, but I tried setting up ACH terms with them like a year ago and it just like, it broke down for whatever reason. I was talking with finance and it just never got set up. PayPal working capital honestly seems all right to me. They pitched 500K and wouldn't ever take that much, but man, if 151 reprints one more time. Never used leverage. Am I cooked? I've minimally used it for like a 15 to 30 day span. And instantly, like if the right thing came along, I would go 90 grand deep on credit cards and then I would send stuff like this to auction. Right now, that is not the case. I'm doing this in addition to like getting other things sorted. My finances are tight, but my finances are not 30 grand in the bank, 90 grand on the credit cards tight. They have been that though in the past several months. They were that not awfully too long ago. And then I just sent some stuff through Fanatics and I sent some stuff through, I sold a bunch of stuff pretty quick to get out of that within 30 days and paid no interest. But yeah, ebbs and flows of cash flow, ebbs and flows of all that stuff. The hilarious thing is like some of these things I've been in Steins and stuff for 12 years now, 13, 14 years now, somewhere in there. I talk to guys that have been in it for 60 years. I talk to guys that when the first edition ones came out in 59, they were there going on 65, 70 years. I know guys who are in it for that long. There are certain items that they have owned once or twice. There are certain items in that they have only seen come up 3 or 4 times in 70 years. And they are in the market. The way that we live, breathe, eat, sleep Pokemon, if you are still in this, 113 people 3 hours later, there are people that deep into this stuff that do it full time or that do it as like a retirement side hustle now. But yeah, it's wild. As Brian said, there's people like this about Beyblades. There's people like this about like Crazy Bones. I have all my Crazy Bones from when I was younger. Shout out to any of the Crazy Bones enjoyers, the Pogs enjoyers. Let me know in chat quickly before we end it. Did you have Crazy Bones growing up? Do you still have them? There are probably like little niche subreddits. There are little niche YouTube channels probably. I'm going to search Crazy Bones on YouTube and see what comes up. Tech decks. I still have all my old tech decks. I'm a hoarder / collector. Crazy Bones commercial. Craving nostalgia. Go-Go's Crazy Bones. Rare sealed booster cracking. So there's a video from a year ago with 6,500 views on Crazy Bones. There's a video from 12 years ago, Go-Go's Crazy Bones, with 608,000 views. Crazy Bones commercial 17 years ago. Man. Crazy. 2 years ago, Rare and Insane Go-Go's Crazy Bones Mail Day with Series 1 collection update. 2 years ago with 20,000 views. This lockdown channel, he has 2.44K subscribers. He's still opening. 2 weeks ago, he opened Crazy Bones. He only got 139 views in that video. I'm going to add that to my watch later. I'm going to watch that video tomorrow on 2X. There are so many things out there in this world. It's wild. It's wild. Bionicles, the only IP Brian likes more than Pokemon. That's awesome. I just stopped buying Legos, ran out of space. That's one great thing about cards. At one point, I owned 300 to 400 Steins. Imagine shipping that many Steins. Imagine this stuff is like amazing to ship and to store. And I've owned tens of thousands of slabs over the years. I've owned thousands of slabs at one time. I've owned 400 Steins. That was when I lived with my parents. And the amount of just totes I had lining, that was after my sister had moved out. So I took over part of her room, bunch in my room. Man, wild. And some of the Steins that I used to sell for $400 or $500, thinking it was crazy then, some of those Steins are $2,000 now. Insane. You're not a real entrepreneur if you didn't have 47 side hustles from age 6 to 25. We already had you on PokeFlips once, PokeNE. And I think we did. I think we talked about the ASMR. I think we talked about, but at some point, you and I need to do something where we just go down memory lane on the Lego buying and reselling, the cockroaches and the silver hustling, to the preppers, to the stackers. Man, wild times. Mad Al treats me well. Glad you found some. I went kind of nuclear on whitening lately after my last few 50 to 60% subs, trying to aim for 80 to 90% SV gem rates. That's wild. Leverage can be game-changing if it's a good percent of your net worth. Leverage can be game-changing in that it can leave you bankrupt or it can multiply your wealth faster. Absolutely. I do not have the risk tolerance to risk like wipeout loss. If by cooked you mean risk averse, then yes, retro. Only so many times you can 2x before the market catches up. I use credit cards for points, but I always have the cash to pay it off instantly. So I've been full-time in Pokemon for 3 years. I've been part-time in Pokemon for 10 years. There's probably only been 4 times in 10 years, one of them being in the past year, that I've had such a big thing happen, such a big collection buy, such a big expense, that I've carried more on my credit cards, not through a statement, not paying interest, but I've had more on my credit cards than I've had in my bank account. Probably only 4 times in the past 10 years. Probably 2 being in the past 3 years since I've been full-time. But I've always got the inventory, and I always have the outlet for the inventory to immediately, within 30 to 45 days, get it sorted, not pay any interest. And I don't do pre-orders, so I've never had to cancel an order or any. The only orders I cancel are when I go to a convention, which I don't do as much anymore, to vend, and then I sell this slab that was listed on eBay and it double sold and I have to cancel because I don't have it. But I've never like canceled an order due to a price movement. Crazy Bones were awesome. I still have all mine. I'm down. I'll tell you about my hacked Darkrai eBay hustle back in the Game Shark Diamond Pearl days. I don't know when it will happen, but I will hit you up sometime. Maybe I'll go out of my normal comfort zone and I'll have a guest on here and we'll talk about we probably can't do it there. I'm doing it right now during the Pokemon boom. I'm talking about all these random things. I'm saying we probably shouldn't. We should probably be good YouTubers and please the algorithm better with Pokemon stonk content. But like I say that, Well, I'm 3.5 hours into talking about Crazy Bones and our favorite cookies and all this stuff. But I love this. I love this content. I love making this content, consuming this content. I appreciate everyone hanging out. I'm gonna call it there. I'm gonna call it 3.5 hours in at 1 o'clock. I told my wife I would almost certainly be done by 12:30, and I went to 1. So sorry, wife, if you're still listening. But yeah, I appreciate everyone so much. Market's booming. Enjoy. It won't be like this forever, but it's like this now. So enjoy. Get while the getting's good.